shutdown, as Michael Wallace reports.
Arkansas is warning SNAP benefits will be delayed if the shutdown doesn't end by November 1st. Teresa Robertson is with the Better Community Development Center in Little Rock.
We have clients come in all the time that talk about how I've eaten out of a dumpster 3 times this week because my benefits got cut off.
Meals on Wheels in San Antonio has lost $1.2 million in federal funding, forcing it to cut service to hundreds of seniors. CEO Vincent Farris says a local business owner donated almost $200,000 to help.
It's letting these folks know that they're not alone and people remember.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
President Trump says he's calling off the federal surge in San Francisco for now after a call with the city's mayor. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi at the White House.
He's giving him the opportunity to make some progress in San Francisco, and if he doesn't, they will send in more federal agents. But for right now, the president says we will not surge in San Francisco on Saturday, which is what they were planning, but he did add stay tuned.
The head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers and a player for the Miami Heat were among dozens arrested in 2 criminal cases alleging separate schemes to rig sports bets and poker games. Anna Schechter reports mafia families were allegedly involved as well.
It's kind of like going into a Godfather movie with this cast of characters, the cities involved, New York City, Miami, Los Angeles. This was a multi-state operation run by these old crime families known to law enforcement for decades.
Tens of thousands of Tesla Cybertrucks are being recalled because their front lights may be too bright. Christopher Cruz reports.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says Tesla isn't aware of any collisions, injuries, or fatalities caused by the headlights, but they could cause a distraction to other drivers and increase the risk of a crash. The company is recalling more than 63,000 Cybertrucks in the U.S. that were manufactured between November 13th, 2023 and October 11th, 2025.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is the latest administration official to travel to Israel. He says he's confident about maintaining the Gaza peace plan. The head of the World Health Organization warned today aid isn't arriving to Gaza quickly enough.
The flow of aid has increased. It's still only a fraction of what's needed.
Russian President Putin reacted today to President Trump's new sanctions, calling it an unfriendly act. On Wall Street, stocks are higher. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
An arrest in a Seattle stabbing, the story coming up. But first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Heather. The Emerald Queen Casino has our quick update. We're wide open on all of our major routes except for just a couple spots. One of them is eastbound 520 approaching Montlake. A collision blocks that right lane, and you're backed up bumper to I-5. This backup has South 5 drivers backed up on the Ship Canal Bridge, and that backup extends back to Ravenna Boulevard. The lake bridges, though, are wide open. Out in Port Orchard, we've got road work westbound 16 to the State Route 166 interchange. It's blocking a lane. Traffic is backed up westbound all the way to Sedgwick Road. That's about a 2-mile solid backup, and work is expected to wrap up here in a couple hours at 2 o'clock. Some drive time: Seattle to Federal Way, 20 minutes. Bellevue to Renton at 15. Everett to Arlington, 15. The Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest, the best place to watch all your favorite sports, featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, kiosks, and more. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. Seattle police have arrested a 39-year-old man accused of a stabbing in Pioneer Square.
Police say Wednesday afternoon the victim flagged down officers saying he was stabbed. Then they say the victim told him the suspect walked up to him asking for drugs. When he said he didn't have any, he claims the suspect stabbed him. Officers later identified that suspect in the same area. He could now face felony assault charges. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Police are searching for the driver who hit and killed a pedestrian in Ballard at 15th Avenue and 73rd. Detective Eric Munoz says the 56-year-old victim was found in the road last night, but not in a crosswalk.
I don't know exactly the position that the pedestrian was in, but I do know they were crossing the street diagonally southbound when they were struck by that vehicle.
Police are looking for a silver sedan that likely has front-end damage. New Seattle cops could earn nearly $120,000 in their first year if the city council approves a new contract agreement. And KIRO News Radio's James Lynch adds.
It takes the Community Assisted Response and Engagement Department, or CARE team, from a pilot program to a permanent part of public safety in Seattle. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell.
A permanent co-equal third pillar of our public safety system. Joining, of course, our police and fire as essential first responders.
CARE responds to calls for service for those experiencing a behavioral health crisis. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Engineers are assessing the damage to the Bullfrog overpass on westbound I-90 near Cle Elum after an overheight truck rammed into it. For now, WashDOT's Megan Lott says the route remains closed.
We do see about 17,000 drivers going westbound. And we do see about 1,500 vehicles traveling over the overpass every day. So it is going to have an impact on drivers.
Governor Ferguson says we should learn no later than Monday how long the freeway will be closed there. In King County, Mpox cases are on the rise. More from KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas.
There were 45 new cases reported in September. That is the highest number since the initial outbreak back in 2022. Public Health is encouraging those who are eligible to get the 2-shot Mpox vaccine series. You can learn more about the demographics of those most impacted on the county's public health website.
Once again, they're making me chuckle here in the studio before I get out of my newscast. This weather update brought to you, Spike and Jake, by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with highs in the low 60s. It's 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Happy Thursday. Welcome to the show. October 23rd. Jake Skorheim here. Spike O'Neill sitting right there. Welcome to the show, Spike.
Welcome, my friend.
So top of the hour news, Heather was doing the Mpox story, and she started playing audio, and so she was free for like 10 seconds. And I said, "What's Mpox? I've never heard of Mpox before."
I remember when the transition happened because the word monkeypox was deemed insulting, offensive.
Are you joking?
No,
is it a joke?
No, I wish.
Who is it insulting to?
Monkeys, our closest anatomical, developmental, evolutionary neighbors.
Anytime a monkey heard you say monkeypox, they just kind of side-eyed you. They went, "Hey, what are you talking about?"
Through poop. Got ugly.
I didn't realize
it's an issue of respect.
Those primates were so sensitive. Pardon me, monkeys. Mpox. Okay. All right. We have, our cup runneth over today. So much stuff to talk about. We've got levies on the ballot. Mm-hmm. We have new taxes on the ballot. We have lots of stuff. There's a big mayoral race in Seattle that's happening. Is there a shakeup happening? I don't know. We'll talk about it. We also have the biggest story nationally, and I'm counting this one as a semi-local, so I think if this qualifies for us to just jump right into first things first with this. We normally wouldn't do a national story. We normally always do something local, but since this one is also taking place in Portland, where you have the Trailblazers, and the coach of the Trailblazers, Chauncey Billups, has been arrested and is being charged as participating in like a gambling conspiracy. Connected to the mafia.
To the mafia. Yeah, sports betting mafia.
This is a
gambling,
massive story.
Point shaving, fake injuries.
So
it's juicy.
It's a juicy story. The AP has a really great breakdown. It's lengthy, so we won't ask you to read all of it, but I'm going to read you the first couple lines. The head coach of the Portland Trailblazers and a player for the Miami Heat were arrested Thursday, that's today, along with more than 30 people in 2 criminal cases alleging sprawling separate schemes to rake in millions by rigging sports bets and poker games involving mafia families. And we're talking about the La Cosa Nostra families, they say, which is kind of a fun topic.
What is it about the mafia? What is it about La Cosa Nostra?
What? That's a great question. What is it about the mafia? You know that the mafia does bad things.
Horrible things.
You know that they are dangerous. You don't want to be in the mafia. I mean,
sex, drugs,
some people want to be
murder,
in the mafia.
You name it.
You don't get mixed up with the mafia.
You don't want to get in
any mafias listening out there. I'm not saying anything
then
negative.
Then you're in his
you.
pocket.
But you see the mafia, you go, I'm going to step to the other side of the street.
Sure.
And yet, because they've had so many depictions in movies, I guess just popular culture, Michael Corleone, mostly.
Michael, Sonny. Yeah, people out there even love Fredo.
There's some people.
But Don Corleone. I mean,
wasn't he married to? He was married to a famous actress for years. The guy who played Fredo.
Oh, Calavisi's his name. Is that his name, right?
His name. Laura, can you look that up? The guy who played Fredo. Who was he married to? He was very serious actor.
And that's a whole different topic. That what Calavisi, if I remember his name correctly. And it's insulting that I don't. Deer Hunter, Dog Day Afternoon, Godfather.
Yeah.
And then he passed away.
He was an amazing actor.
Amazing. He shouldn't have gone fishing. Sorry. Laura doesn't get
But that's not what we're talking about.
Not what we're talking
about the NBA.
But that's how
Laura,
this.
Who is it? All right, we can pull this music down a little bit.
There you go. Not out.
Was it Meryl Streep?
He was married. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He was with Meryl Streep, and
From
she's
the
a very
Deer
serious actress.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we've gotten that figured out, let's figure out this whole NBA game fixing thing. It's really crazy, and the very interesting part is it feels like you're reading a James Bond novel. Side note, most people don't realize that those were all novels, not just movies. But it feels like something you would see in Mission Impossible, the way that they were cheating at these games, or that they alleged to have cheated.
We're talking about high-stakes poker games, private poker games in Las Vegas, Miami, Manhattan, and the Hamptons, backed by these organized crime families that would lure in these athletes.
Yeah.
These are guys we're talking about who have
they get a lot of
crazy
cash.
amounts of money.
Crazy amount of money. They have access to it.
They love action.
They like the action.
And, Michael Jordan is like infamous for the fact that he would make $1 million bets at the drop of a hat.
Charles Barkley, same thing. He talks about it all the time.
And you don't have to be one of the marquee Hall of Famer guys who make zillions of money. Guys like, Chauncey Billups.
Well, even Chauncey Billups. I knew Chauncey Billups when I was in the NBA. Most people don't know that. I was in the NBA 4 years. No big deal. I was in the NBA as a ball boy. I rebounded for this guy. I didn't gamble with him. I'll tell you that much right now.
Don't get...
But he played for the Pistons at the time. I think he even won a championship with the Pistons when I was working for the Sonics. And so...
He made $106 million over his career.
Yeah, a long career. I think he was in the league for 15, 16 years. And then now he's
He's a coach.
Until today. I guess he still is, technically.
I don't know if he's going to be on the sideline tonight. I don't think so.
Well, that's the crazy thing is the NBA just started up. This is their opening week. This is the worst news that you can have if you're in the NBA. This is the absolute worst news you can have. This was the FBI, this is Kash Patel with the FBI announcing this NBA gambling ring. And the ramifications of what... Okay, so not only do you have these guys who are trapped up in, gambling and then there's all these extortion things that are happening on the side. The whole point of roping these guys in and getting over on them is so they can do what, Spike?
It's fixed games.
Fixed games.
Terry Rozier
at.
is accused of a separate scheme to fraudulent bets, to shave points, to fake injuries.
It's an accusation right now.
He made $160 million in his career. And we've seen this story played out. You talk about the romanticism, the art of the mafia story in TV, in movies, in books, in literature. You get these guys who make crazy amounts of money. They love gambling. They love the action. They love the high stakes thrills. You get these guys at a rigged poker game, where you got and you've seen how this plays out. I've seen it in cinema. That's all I know.
Yeah.
But you get them in the game. You get them in debt. You get them deeper in debt. Hey, you want to get out of debt?
And you offer them a way out.
Mix it. How about missing a free throw? How about making sure you don't lose to the Pelicans by more than 8?
Yeah, we're not saying you got to lose the game. All we're saying is we don't. We want
throw that alley-oop, a little alley-ooper.
The spread needs to be messed with a little bit.
And that's the allegations against Terry Rozier and another Damon Jones.
Now,
another player accused of these schemes.
I showed you a video that somebody put together of Rozier.
Yeah.
Now, you're watching some very curious-looking plays during his time that he's accused to have been involved in all this.
Right. Yeah.
Some of those plays don't seem to add up until you know that we know now what we know today.
Right. You're watching one of the greatest athletes on the planet, because the guys who play in the NBA, they are some of the most premier athletes in the planet. How does a guy like that make a pass like that?
Oh, yeah, maybe he's doing it on purpose. Yeah, it's crazy.
Here's a guy shooting, 14 of 18. All of a sudden, here comes a brick.
Or
an air ball.
Or he runs down court and just happens to accidentally pass it to the wrong team.
Whoops.
Which we literally were watching videos this morning of this happening.
They put a montage of this plays together, and it's like, oh.
This is the director of the FBI, Kash Patel, talking a little bit about this earlier today.
To announce a historic arrest across a wide-sweeping criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Casa Nostra. I'll just highlight some of the details in the case and the FBI work, and then you'll hear from the others. But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today, former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families. The charges and the arrests that were taken down across this country range from wire fraud, money laundering, extortion, robbery, illegal gambling.
It's so interesting when he's naming all those families. We know all those families. Instantly, you know those names. They're recognizable because we've seen them in all the movies. Like in Goodfellas. Do you remember when they're like burning down the restaurant in Goodfellas?
Yes.
And they describe how, listen, you get mixed up with the mob, then the mob leans on you for a favor, and when there's nothing left to get, then you burn it down.
Then you burn the place.
Now the guy's got Paulie as a partner. Any problems, he goes to Paulie. Trouble with the bill, he can go to Paulie. Trouble with the cops, deliveries, Tommy, he can call Paulie. Also, Paulie could do anything, especially run up bills on the joint's credit. And why not? Nobody's gonna pay for it anyway. And as soon as the deliveries are made in the front door, you move the stuff out the back and sell it at a discount. You take a $200 case of booze and you sell it for $100. Doesn't matter, it's all profit. And then finally, when there's nothing left, and you can't borrow another $1 from the bank or buy another case of booze, you bust the joint out. You light a match.
You light a match.
Oh my God. And not to be, a stereotypical. I'm not trying to stereotype, but if you heard Kash Patel read those names.
I know.
We got the names of those people listed in the and it's like I didn't know these guys were still around.
Oh, they're around.
Spanish Q Alvarez.
The greatest trick.
Louis Diap Papichi, as he's the guy that does their Facebook page.
Is that a real name?
Yes, Louis Diap.
Shut it.
Flapper Poker, Flappy Face, Matty Two-Tone, the wrestler Dandino.
Flappy Face?
That's Flappy. That's what
Is that
Flappy.
a real name?
That's his. It's in the indictment.
He plays that Flappy app game all the time on his phone.
Eric Spook Ernest. I'm hoping that's because he's thin. These names: Garzern, Gardello, Gardanello.
Is that the pretzel guy?
Tommy the Juice. Hey, there's a black Tony, a fat Tony, a thin Tony, a fit Tony, Tony the ankles, Tony the squeaky shoe Tony.
Are
Tony
you joking?
the nose.
Are these?
I may be straying afield from the names.
Okay.
But I didn't think these guys were still around.
They're still guys.
Big Tuna.
Yeah.
Tommy two futons, they call him, because he wouldn't fit on one futon.
What a crazy world. But see, that's
Louis Calamari and his sidekick Tony aioli sauce.
I couldn't be
They're
anywhere
never
near
separated.
that because I'm allergic to shellfish. I would have to stay away.
How is this still a thing? But you know what? I'll tell you how it's still a thing. The details of this case, right? We're talking about rigged card games. The details on how these guys are rigging card games in today's world.
Next level. It's like I was saying. It's like a James Bond novel.
It is. You were using poker chips that had embedded with computerized microchips that could read cards.
Yeah, listen to this. Let's see here. The games were rigged using sophisticated cheating technology, yada, yada, yada. Altered card shuffling machines, hidden cameras and poker chip trays, special sunglasses, and even X-ray equipment built into the table to read the cards of unsuspecting players.
Guys who had $200,000 in cash for the weekend.
There you go. Once the targeted victims, known as Fish, lost, the mafia, this is all from the AP story, used extortion and violence to make sure they paid their gambling debts. The rigged poker scheme often made use of pre-existing illegal poker games run by New York crime families, the aforementioned families we just talked about a second ago. It is bizarre when you see something like this in this day and age that this thing still exists and that it's still such a big industry. But it makes total sense to me. When I was a ball boy for the Sonics, these guys have a lot of cash. You have really young guys. Think about it. When you were that age, if you were 21 years old, 22 years old,
right,
you're making millions of dollars a year. cash is just being thrown at you for everything. You're
Yes.
getting sponsorship deals. You're getting all this stuff. You've never had nobody has had that kind of money before. It's just like nobody gets that kind of money. And then all of a sudden you just start drowning in cash. You might want to have some fun with it. And you might take some of that money and go, if you have a buddy who's telling you hey, I know these guys, they have a fun card room.
Fun card game, yeah.
Yeah, it's only going to be $50,000. And what's that to you? You make $1 million, a month playing basketball.
Next thing you know, you're holding a sports drink. There's a couple extra $1 million in your pocket. You go have fun.
It's nothing.
Right.
And then before you know it, they're saying, hey, can you shave a point? Yeah. And now you're caught up in this, and it's just so fascinating that this still exists. You think it would be really tough to pull this off, but it's the oldest trick in the book.
But with the smartest technology on the planet, these got guys wearing contact lenses.
Yeah, the X-ray
that
stuff
can read
is
that
crazy.
can read encrypted cards on a marked deck of cards.
Probably not great though. What happened to, was it Marie Curie? Is that the one who used to, didn't she discover?
She invented penicillin, right?
Oh, that's
Is that
penicillin.
Madame Curie?
Who's the X-ray person? Can you look that up, Laura? Who invented X-rays? And then they died of...
Well, I know that Nobel invented TNT thanks to you, my friend. I never knew that.
Isn't that interesting?
Right?
That's a fun side story. She's looking it up.
Who invented the
X-rays?
X-ray?
Should be a quick look up. And here we go.
I don't know if Wilhelm Conrad Roentgen.
That sounds right.
A German physicist.
That's why
it's not
That's exactly who you were thinking
Easier
of,
to
right?
say.
It's not Marie Curie.
No.
She was the one who was discovered radioactivity, right? Like the glow girls who were painting the clocks, and then all of them started getting cancer.
Oh, with the radium girls.
Radium girls.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I thought you said that was she was the penicillin.
Well, Marie Curie invented penicillin, right? I could be wrong. It happens quite often.
No.
Stop your clock by that one.
You look up Marie Curie. I agree with you. I think it was
I
the
think
radiation.
it says Marie Curie killed by science.
That's right. So I was half right. It was the radiation stuff, and then I'm talking about the X-rays.
First woman to win a Nobel Prize.
This all makes sense.
Somebody named Brie invented penicillin. Blue cheese. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in the NBA, and there's a lot of crazy stuff involving mafia. So let's go from one mafia story to another one.
Paulie Sweet Smell Fabrizi. I swear
Shut
that's
up.
a real name. I
Shut
swear
your
to you.
mouth. No,
His
it's
last
not.
name's Fabrizi.
Let me see that. Are you joking? Paulie Sweet Smell?
Fabrizi. Used to be Fuzzy Wuzzy, but he changed his name.
Well, Febreze is actually...
Fabrizi, right?
Do you like Febreze?
I don't like fake smells. I don't like masking smells. If you need Febreze, there's a bigger problem.
I
get it. Somebody's coming over. You don't have time to have the couch steam cleaned. I get it.
You got like a dog or something. Your
Right?
house stinks.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
But the problem that I have with it is you're just spraying. And again, this is not I'm not trying to be detrimental to Febreze. They run a
No.
fine
Fine people.
business.
They sponsor
Fine
the 2
people.
o'clock hour. I believe.
Yeah, great people.
Yeah.
They don't sponsor
There's an
us. Just
opportunity.
full disclosure, they don't sponsor us. I find
They
it weird.
should.
I find it weird to spray chemicals on your stuff.
Right?
I always
mask
think,
something?
you're just going to cover it in chemicals. Does that make any sense to you? Let's just cover it in chemicals.
Short-term fix
You know
to
what
a
I think the
long-term
problem is?
problem.
Now that I have babies, and babies are constantly putting their face all over everything. Just
you don't
might as well
want
just
that.
go spray your baby.
And
with
you know how
Febreze.
kids get on couches when they're little? Face first.
That's right.
They plant their face, use that as a pivot
Also,
point.
kids
and-
stink all the time. So if anybody could use Febreze, it would be a kid because they smell so bad. They're just pooping all the time.
Well, you got one's. I'm not going to make the mental connection.
Yeah.
Because you know where the old one was sitting there a second ago. Here comes the little one, face plant, boom.
Ugh, gross. Well, we ran out of time to cover our other mafia story with our
There's another
Febreze
mafia?
aside. There is. We'll get into it. Unlicensed food vendor mafia.
What?
Kind of. We will talk about that and so much more in a little bit. But next, Spike, this is in your backyard. This is happening in Edmonds. Edmonds has an opportunity here. They have an
Proposition,
opportunity.
yeah.
They can do one of two things.
Yep.
They can tighten the financial belt, or they can pick their neighbors' pockets. How will people vote? You have an insight into this because this is your area.
Yep.
And you are a man of the people, and you know what the people want. So I want to hear from you what you think Edmonds voters are going to do on November 4th. And then I will yell at those voters. We will be right back. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino.
A KIRO News Radio exclusive.
This is Charlie Harder. I've spent the past 6 weeks investigating a story involving a youth pastor, child abuse, a mayor, and a name change, all while civic leaders appear to look the other way.
I've read the police report. It is horrible. It is sickening.
There's some level of calculation there.
You have to make it right.
How does no one have a problem with it?
Watch the full story at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO News Radio YouTube page.
So what will you have today? Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry?
When it comes to picking ice cream, there are lots of choices, and they all look and sound so good. Choosing a Medicare plan is a lot like that. So many options, all sound good. But if you pick a plan that's not right for you, there can be serious consequences. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Open enrollment season is underway, and we're all being inundated with advertisements encouraging us to choose this Medicare Advantage plan or that one. Maybe the best choice for you is traditional Medicare. To make an informed decision, you need to do your homework. The Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program has a free Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit to get you started.
This is Insurance Commissioner Patty Kuderer. Our Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit has a checklist of 7 easy steps to help you decide which Medicare plan is right for you.
Order your free toolkit today at insurance.wa.gov. That's insurance.wa.gov. Or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center. Then go get an ice cream.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, October 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
We are
Subaru of Puyallup.
We're stress-free.
Stress-free. Estamos libre de estrés.
We're almost 100 employees strong. We make sure the sales process is smooth.
We have video car walkthroughs.
We have stress-free pricing.
We value our customers and we value their experience.
We're like a family here. We love our community
And support local charities. We are
Subaru
of Puyallup, your
stress-free
stress-free dealership.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a good-to-go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A good-to-go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Cancers impact so many, but there's hope because the UW Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing ways to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Learn more at uwcvi.org about patients who received treatment 20 years ago that are healthy today. You can help by donating to fight at your local Safeway.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. Some prominent NBA names are among more than 30 people arrested in 2 federal gambling investigations. More from CBS's Peter King.
One investigation involves rigged bets based on inside information about NBA injuries.
Defendants used this non-public information to place hundreds of thousands of dollars in fraudulent bets.
Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier was arrested in Orlando this morning. Portland Trail Blazers coach Chauncey Billups is one of dozens picked up for participating in poker games that were run in part by organized crime, attracting bettors to play with former stars only to get fleeced. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
President Trump releases a list of donors helping to build his new ballroom, and the list includes several Seattle area-based businesses. CBS's Linda Kenyon reports.
Those donors include Apple, Amazon, Meta, and Google, which have all taken steps to strengthen ties with the administration. Others include Comcast Corporation, Microsoft, Lockheed Martin, T-Mobile, Union Pacific Railroad.
At $300 million, the cost and size of the ballroom are larger than first thought, with what appears to be the entire east wing of the White House being torn down to make room. The federal government remains shut down, and if this closure continues into November, nearly 930,000 Washington residents may lose access to SNAP food benefits. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao is at the West Seattle Food Bank with more.
The food bank's executive director, Fran Yates, tells me they're already struggling to keep shelves stocked.
We're getting food, but still not enough.
SNAP benefits help ease that pressure. Without SNAP, Yates says they're preparing for a lot more demand.
The Everett City Council has delayed a vote on whether to renew a law that deters homeless camps by banning sitting or lying down in parts of the downtown area. The council wants more data about who's getting cited under the rules. Council members did approve a new stay out of drug areas or SOTA zones near downtown. Pierce County Sheriff's Major Chad Dickerson has been charged with 2 counts of vehicular assault DUI after a crash that injured a child and grandmother in July. He refused to take field sobriety tests. Sheriff Swank told KIRO News Radio's G and Ursula he wasn't surprised.
First off, you should never do field sobriety tests. I don't know why you did that, even if you drink or not.
The results of Dickerson's blood alcohol level just came back from the lab, and it is over the legal limit. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 168 points. NASDAQ ahead 231. KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Thank you. The Emerald Queen Casino has our quick check. We're looking pretty good out there. Just a few trouble spots. No major backups through Seattle, though. We cleared that earlier crash eastbound 520 in Montlake. And that opened up that earlier South 5 backup through the U District. But it's still crowded from 85th to the Convention Center. Lindenwood to Seattle plan on 20 minutes. Down in Renton, northbound 405, we're jamming up at Northeast 44th near the VMAC. Looks like we've got a stalled vehicle blocking the HOV lane. You're backed up to the Renton Landing. Right now, Renton to Bellevue's doing okay at 15 minutes. And out toward Port Orchard, we've got road work westbound 16 at the State Route 166 interchange blocking a lane. Traffic is backed up between Sedgwick Road and Tremont Street, and then from there you're going to clear out right away, so maybe they wrapped it up already. It was scheduled to go until 2 o'clock. The Emerald Queen Casino is the entertainment capital of the Northwest, the best place to watch all your favorite sports, featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, kiosks, and more. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies with highs in the low 60s. It's 60 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, lots of stuff to get to. A little tease ahead at the start of the next hour. Charlie Harger from Seattle's Morning News is going to join us. He's got a unbelievable story that happened in, I guess it's kind of technically still happening, right?
Yeah.
In Auburn. And we just spoke with the mayor of Auburn, Nancy Backus, just a week ago when we found out that the South Hill rapist, Kevin Coe, was going to be moved into Auburn. They didn't know about it, she says. And so with the community's effort, they got him out of there. Now he's back in Federal Way. Now, you would think that means that she doesn't want any rapists as far as she can see in her town, except this story is bizarre and does not reflect well on Auburn. It looks really bad for the mayor in Auburn. So we're going to have that for you at 1 o'clock. Charlie's going to join us to explain all that. It's a very detailed story, but you should hear it because it's something you should know about. All right, we have a lot to get to, Spike, in this segment.
Before we move on,
please.
Correction. Marie Curie had a hand in inventing the portable X-ray. You were spot on.
Thank you.
Penicillin was Louis Pasteur, and he didn't invent penicillin, but he worked on the first antibiotics,
right,
which led to pasteurization. I didn't pay a lot of attention in school. It's not
tough.
your fault. It's me.
No, and you're not. I'm not blaming you at all. It just so happens that when we're talking on the fly, and one of us has a thought, we hadn't planned on talking about Marie Curie and X-rays. I don't even know how we got on the topic. Oh yeah, because of the mafia and the gambling.
Well, that's of course.
But then somewhere in the back of my head, I got some tiny little thing rattling around. I go, "Oh, Marie Curie, wasn't she blah blah blah?" And then you come on and tell me
about X-ray glasses. They were
about
used
X-ray glasses,
and card cheating. Yeah,
she died as a result of her investigations into X-rays. Anyway, but you said it with such authority. I 100%. I was like, wow, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. But that happens all the time.
Yeah,
and it's just one of those things.
Go fishing in my brain. You don't always catch a catfish. You know what I'm saying to you? Sometimes it's an old tire.
Same with mine.
I'm just saying.
But I appreciate the update. That's
you bet.
That's good. Okay. In Edmonds, I need your insight into this, Spike.
Sure.
Edmonds finds itself in a precarious situation. The city is short on budget.
As most cities are these days.
Like many cities are.
Yeah.
Edmonds is going to be $13 million short on the money they need, they say, to run the city. So on November 4th, they're going to ask voters whether or not they want to approve a property tax increase. Now, because of I think it was in 2001, I could be wrong about that, but there was a initiative statewide that says you cannot raise property taxes by more than 1%.
That was in 07.
07. Okay. You cannot raise property taxes by more than 1%. This was an Iman initiative, I believe, and voted in. People like it. They don't want to see their property taxes raised a ton, but people who manage cities are saying, well, how else are we supposed to make extra money when we need it? Raising property taxes could be a valuable thing. And that's what they want to do in Edmonds. They want to raise property taxes. Now, the question is, will the voters pass it? Because the voters have the opportunity to say, hey, keep your hands out of our pockets. But based on your experience, because this is your neighborhood.
I drive through it daily.
You're driving around these neighborhoods all the time. You're just staring at people. What are you seeing? Like, what's your general sense of how the voters are going to?
This is where yard signs come into play, right? You gauge the public's political mood by yard signs. This time of year, they're everywhere, right? Yard signs can make all the difference because people are undecided about these issues. But you see these yard signs everywhere I go to, and vote yes on Prop 1. So
this would be to give the city the ability
Proposition
to raise...
1 is lifting the lid on property tax increases. As you mentioned, it's a 1% annual cap. They want to remove that on a temporary basis to up to 4.5% property tax increase. And now, it sounds crazy to keep going into people's pockets, but everywhere I go, all I see is vote yes on Prop 1. Keep Edmonds affordable. No, that's no. Keep Edmonds affordable is no on Prop 1. I haven't seen one of these signs until I logged onto their website. I drive through every day. I haven't seen one of those signs. I see these. Vote yes on Edmonds Prop 1. Keep our parks and our schools, affordable or reusable.
The signs that you're seeing that are vocally supportive are saying raise our taxes.
Raise our taxes. I'm seeing literally 95% of the signs I've seen. I haven't. They're They're everywhere.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think people would just say take more of my money?
You asked me that today, and I'm like, because I guess these are people who can afford a couple of 67 extra bucks a month or 74 extra bucks a month per household is what they're talking about.
Well, that's what they cite is on average what it would cost. But
right.
It would depend on what the value of the home is.
Yeah,
right?
but we had that former Representative Ross Hunter. We talked about it earlier in the week. He wrote a nice op-ed about why it's important to invest in the city you want, the budget you need, in the city you want. Vote yes on Prop 1.
Yeah,
I'm glad you've got the extra $67 a month, whatever it might be.
Yeah, we didn't have him on the show.
We were speaking to the op-ed he wrote in the paper. And you ask me why are the cities by yard sign? And I'm just anecdotal, but I see yard signs everywhere. Yeah. I mean, they're everywhere. Yes, on Prop 1. Because how do you put a yard sign in your front yard that says no parks, no one parks?
Do you think?
Vote no.
I think you're right. I think there is, because they don't want to look mean. They don't want to say no to these things.
It's easy to put a yard sign out in front and look nice to your neighbors. I support the kids. I support the parks. I support the
virtue
pool.
Signaling. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if it's a true indication of how these folks are going to vote come November 4th. I don't know. I'm sure they're all people of integrity who wouldn't put the misleading sign in the front yard. But people who are going to vote no on this probably aren't eager to put a no on parks sign in their front yard.
Although I do wonder if there aren't more people out there who just say, you know what? No, I've given you plenty of my money. You're bad at managing my money. And why am I going to give you more of my money?
I'm sure there are a lot of people saying that out there, but they're not saying it on their front yard in a sign is what I'm saying. As I'm seeing these.
I wish more people were emboldened to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I wish they were more
if you care enough to keep Edmonds affordable, no on Prop 1.
Also, I feel like that argument is disingenuous, I think. Like, if you vote no on this, it means you hate parks and you hate schools. I don't think that's true at all. Absolutely don't think that's true.
No, I don't either.
And I know you don't, because we talked about this last week, and you're against the rate.
It's easy to say I'm all for it when all you got to do is put a yard sign out there.
Yeah.
You know? But every month it comes to, and maybe you're all going to vote that way. If that's the case, this thing's going to win in a landslide.
I mean,
a lift on the lid of the property tax increases hasn't passed since like 2001.
Yeah, $74 they said for per month for the median household. I mean, you're talking in that case about $800 a year. Is my math wrong on that?
No, it's pretty close.
Pretty close.
8.5, 900 a year.
Just extra money. You're just giving these people extra money, and instead of them having to tighten their belt like everybody else does in life, if you get behind on your bills, you don't just go to your neighbor and say, give me extra money. You know, this is not a Katie Wilson situation where most people can just call mom and dad and say, hey, I need more money because I can't pay the child care or whatever it is.
Right.
So I don't understand why the city feels so emboldened to do this. I would find it embarrassing if I ran the city of Edmonds, if I was on the Edmonds City Council, and your response to being in a bad financial situation is just, you know what, let's just take more of their money. I also think it's embarrassing for the people who are putting these signs in their yard saying, I want to take more of my neighbor's money. Donate yourself. Go give money to the city. If you feel so impassioned to keep the parks safe, just go give your money. I've seen a lot of these houses in Edmonds. They're very nice.
They're very nice houses.
I used a table in Edmonds at an estate sale. Mm-hmm. I used to live in that area. I bought a used table on, I think it was on Craigslist. I bought it for $50. Couple years later, I find out that it's worth thousands and thousands of dollars because it was like an old collector's table. Now, they didn't care about it because it was just an estate sale and they wanted to get rid of it.
Money.
Yeah, they're swimming in money.
Come on.
And the house it was being sold out of, super nice, palatial, view of the water. Sure. You're watching the ferry boats roll in.
And we're not knocking anybody who's made a nice life for themselves. And they feel like they've got the extra money. But your point is, don't drag your neighbors along with you.
100%. I'm knocking the people who are putting the signs in their yard because they're virtue signaling, saying like, oh, look at how much I care about things. Well, good, write a check. If you care so much about it, nobody at the city is going to turn down a check. I promise you, if you send them a check and saying, this is a gift, and you could write in the little note section, this is a gift because I want clean parks and all that stuff, they will find a place for that money.
What if your ballot included a space for your credit card information? So if you vote yes, also include you, and we'll just bill you.
Sure.
We'll only bill the yes voters. We won't bill the no voters.
What you're saying would be a wonderful idea.
So it doesn't have a shot.
And they're not going to do it. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Yeah, you can make up 17 million. I guarantee you got a lot of rich people in Edmonds. And if they're putting those signs out.
I'm glad they're happy to help.
Tell you what, and I know how you can identify these people who might be interested in doing this. They have a sign in their yard.
Yeah.
Knock on their door and ask for a donation.
Bring a clipboard.
Yeah. Just like the Girl Scouts or the Boy Scouts in front of the gas station.
Hey, take a chocolate bar with you. Make 100%. It feel good right there on the spot.
Yeah. This is what you get. We're going to give you
it's from a world's finest Levy chocolate company.
A signed picture of the Edmonds City Council that you can hang on your fridge.
Mayor Rosen.
There you go.
Right there.
There you go. Just donate if you guys feel so passionately about it, but don't take other people's money. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We will be. What are we doing next here? Is this the?
There's a study about the kids these days.
What the weed store?
Yeah, these kids these days. I'm telling you.
What are they doing? What are they smoking?
Welcome to the Old Man Corner. We call this segment.
We got a lot more. Stick around.
I can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants,
"Why don't you get your kid off the phone?" You could do that now.
No, I'm not there yet. Getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Save 30% on select perennials now at Sky Nursery.
I'm Jen, the greenhouse manager at Sky Nursery. For gardeners in the Pacific Northwest, fall is like a second spring. It's a great time to plant. You have so many options that will look gorgeous now and set you up beautifully for next year's springtime garden. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store, no matter the time of year.
Save 30% on select perennials while supplies last. More savings and details at skynursery.com.
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. If you're at the stage where you need readers, whether you've had LASIK or not, it may be time to consider K2 Vision RLE. I tell my King LASIK patients, laser vision correction won't solve the eventual need for reading glasses due to an aging, dysfunctional lens.
But K2 Vision RLE will. It's not a question of if your lens becomes dysfunctional, it's when. At that point, you'll need reading glasses and could benefit from refractive lens exchange, a permanent solution to distance, intermediate, and near vision problems. In other words, no glasses, no contacts, and no readers.
And no cataracts.
Exactly. After K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless.
And because we performed over 100,000 procedures and followed the outcomes, we have the experience to know if RLE is right for you.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com and let's get your vision feeling young again, permanently.
Go to k2visionrle.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riding with Olympic Hot Tub. You know what's better than soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa? Knowing you got it for an incredible price during our great rebate event. Save up to $4,500 on the best hot tub you can own. Saltwater soaking, incredible savings, sleeping better, feeling better. What are you waiting for? Our great rebate event ends October 27th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
All right, welcome back. Lots of stuff to chat about. Next hour, start of the hour, we're going to have Charlie Harger in with us, who's just got this unbelievable story out of Auburn. And anyway, you got to hear it to believe it. And it's a page turner if you want to read about it. You can check it out at mynorthwest.com, or just stick around and Charlie will walk us through the entire thing. It's just bizarre. Okay, we got this story, Spike, which we have been chatting a little bit about on the break. Marijuana. There's a new study out. Seattle Red had this story. It's a really interesting story. There's a new study out about the effects and also the increase, how much young folks are smoking, not just smoking, using marijuana. Because a lot of people who use it have never smoked it. They'll take it in the form of an edible, or they'll take a gummy, or they'll take, which I guess is an edible.
That's an edible, yeah.
They'll take they might have it in a cake. They might have it in.
Heck, there are creams.
You could
take it,
rub it on your body in a cream.
Yeah,
absolutely. I know a lot of people who will take the cream and they will rub it all over their feet and then put their socks on, and then all throughout the day it's just like a basting turkey. Isn't that crazy?
Whatever works for people. But the point is, marijuana-soaked feet should never touch the pedals of a car.
No, they shouldn't.
And that's what the story highlights is that there's a sharp increase in, first off, young consumers on a daily basis. So it was 8% say they use on a daily basis.
For 18 to 25-year-olds,
right.
they are 8% increase in daily cannabis users. And then
not 8% increase, thank you. Okay.
And then in 18 to 20-year-olds, there's a 14% of them say that they actually get it from their parent or caregiver.
Because I think you got to be 21, don't you, to purchase marijuana in the state?
I believe so. Yeah, it's just like
so. Anybody
just like
18
alcohol.
years old, or in that window, is getting it illegally.
Yeah,
provided by a parent or caregiver. It says in the story.
So the other thing that the story highlights is that there is apparently a myth, which I guess I was unaware of, but there's a myth called driving while high, and there are a huge portion of young drivers out there who believe that they drive better when they're high. And that's exactly what it sounds like. They think that you're driving better when you're high. Although that is impaired driving. Just like driving under the that's driving under the influence. You will get arrested for that.
And there's no measurable THC content as there is like a blood alcohol level measurement that can be done on the spot to know how impaired somebody is. They say there's you should have a 3-hour window from consumption to driving is what is recommended from a safety perspective with the use of marijuana.
Gotcha.
But there's no way to really measure how impaired you are. We had a story earlier this week about how much more potent marijuana these days is because of the legalization and the monetization of industrial marijuana and the chemistry and science that comes into play.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a kid growing up smoking dirt weed, and I think the statute of limitations has expired, and this is all hypothetical for our legal
if
team.
you had done that.
If I had done that, I'd have to smoke a garbage bag full of what we were subjected to or available to us in the 70s and 80s compared to what you can get walking in any store today.
Well, the THC content, even through the 90s and early 2000s, was 1 to 3%, maybe as much as 4%. And now they say that it's as high as 28%.
Between 18 and 28, 1831 you can buy, because there's different concentrated forms of it. It's not just all flour, as they say, or edibles. There's concentrated forms of it that are even more potent.
Do you think, we've had a few years now where it's been legal.
Mm-hmm.
We have 156% spike in fatal crashes involving cannabis-impaired drivers over the past decade. So that's not good. That's a bad stat. We have these other stats about people using it daily. I know we're short on time here, but do you think it's a good thing that it's legalized?
I do. I do think it's a good thing because it's legalized, because I think it was vilified for a long time. I think there are uses of marijuana. Nobody should be. Again, here's another hot take. I said yesterday, don't drink and drive. Today, don't smoke and drive. Come on. But there are medicinal uses of cannabis that are not just for prescribed use, but that eliminate the need for pharmaceuticals in a lot of cases. I think it's a lot less dangerous than people who use alcohol.
I don't like it.
I
don't want to sound like a prude.
No, I respect that.
And when it first was
I don't
legalized,
do it myself.
and I don't either. Clearly,
I got a problem. If I start using it, I won't stop using it. I know better.
When it first was legalized, when I was younger, I thought, oh, this is great. But now that I'm older and I have children, and I see how easy it is for people to get it and how dangerous it is,
I think it's much easier to abuse than alcohol.
And it's also, just to push back on your point for a half second, you still, even before it became legal, there were still ways to medically get prescribed these things.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
So maybe we go back to that. I don't know. It's a complicated topic. It makes a lot of money for the state, so it probably won't ever go away.
But read the piece that Seattle Red.
Check it out.
Kids these days,
check it out.
They're lighting up.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Charlie Hargan next. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The voice of the Mariners for 40 years.
There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
The Rick Riz Show on Seattle's Morning News.
Rick. We have finally reached the end of the baseball season.
Oh, Amanda.
Have you recovered yet?
Oh, what a year. It was the best year on the field in the history of the franchise. One that I'll never forget, and I don't think the fans will ever forget either.
Get the full conversation on the KIRO Newsradio app and at mynorthwest.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why?
I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake.
Wait a minute. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep. I'm like, so you're going to wake me up?
Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night.
So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep sleep better, right?
And I did.
Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, it's not fair that you're sleeping.
I know.
But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up?
Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning.
So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy.
You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Announcing the Royal Corgis.
What have you done?
I wired pounds to London to buy Royal Corgis.
You went to the bank to wire money for Royal Corgis?
That means yes.
You are so dumb. Banks are slow and they hide all kinds of fees and transfers.
Those mutts.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. It's faster and never hides fees. Oh, they're fighting, just like the real royal family.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
You're halfway through a DIY car fix and boom, you're missing a part. It's okay because whatever it is, it's on eBay and it's guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Republicans and Democrats each have bills to pay some federal workers as the government shutdown continues. The Republican measure has already failed. Caitlin Huey-Burns on Capitol Hill.
It's basically rinse and repeat up here on Capitol Hill, but this is the part of the shutdown that we're starting to see this outside pressure build up. Air traffic controllers are just getting half of their paychecks, and next week they won't be getting those paychecks at all. So you can imagine both Republicans and Democrats travel a lot. Air traffic controllers taking on second jobs right now.
President Trump has scrapped plans for a federal surge in San Francisco after speaking to the mayor, Daniel Lurie. Trump says Lurie asked him very nicely to give him a chance to turn things around.
We are adding police officers and sheriff's deputies for the first time in a decade. We have record low number of encampments on our streets. Our new approach is delivering results.
The Department of Homeland Security now says all assets and resources are being redirected. Trump is touting the efforts to wipe out cartels.
The cartels are waging war on America, and just as I promised in the campaign, we're waging war on them.
An NBA head coach and player are among those charged in what authorities say were sprawling schemes to rig sports betting and poker games. Mafia families, too, were said to be involved. CBS's Jake Rosen.
When the federal government brings cases like these with 30-plus people involved, 4-plus different Cosa Nostra or mob families involved, it certainly seems very likely that this case is almost airtight.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the latest administration official to travel to Israel to shore up the Gaza peace plan.
It's a very important achievement, but there's more work to be done and bigger achievements that lie ahead. And so we're here to work on that, and we feel very positive and confident that we're going to get there despite substantial obstacles. We're going to get there.
There were more questions today about the demolition of the East Wing of the White House. Linda Kenyon has that.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the demolition was necessary.
Trust the process. This is going to be a magnificent addition to the White House for many years to come.
As to whether the National Capital Planning Commission signed off on the demolition.
A submission is not required legally for that. Only for vertical construction will a submission be required, and that's a legal opinion from them.
She added no taxpayer dollars are being used to fund the project. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
On Wall Street, at the closing bell, stocks finished higher. The Dow Jones Industrial's up by 144 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Mariners front office takes responsibility for the M's failure to get to the World Series. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Heather, this report brought to us by Washington 811. Looking pretty good out there. Linwood to Seattle, just a 25-minute drive. It's crowded from 85th in the downtown, but you're close to freeway speeds through most of this. North 5 starting to slow, approach the West Seattle Bridge, but by the time you hit the convention center, you're in the clear. South 405 is heavy through Factoria. You'll get a nice clearing and then more traffic near the VMAC, Bellevue to Renton. Renton's at 20 minutes. North 405 is heavy through the Renton S-curves. Out in Port Orchard, it appears that road work on westbound 16 at the State Route 166 interchange has already wrapped up a good hour plus early. Those earlier backups have also cleared out. The rest of our map looking really good. If you're digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 to avoid dangerous and costly damages to utility lines. Call 811 or submit online at digsafewa.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. Seattle police say they've arrested a suspect in a stabbing that happened in the middle of the afternoon on 3rd Avenue in Pioneer Square. The victim tells police the suspect asked him for drugs yesterday, and when he told him he didn't have any, he got stabbed. Seattle police are searching for the driver who hit and killed a pedestrian in Ballard.
Seattle Police Detective Eric Munoz says the victim was crossing 15th Avenue near 73rd in Ballard Wednesday night in a spot not designated for crossing.
They were crossing the street diagonally southbound when they were struck by that vehicle.
Paramedics worked on the victim at the scene, but say he died in the street. Police say the suspect's car is a silver sedan, most likely with front-end damage. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A major pay raise for Seattle cops if the city council approves a new contract agreement. Starting officers would be paid nearly $120,000 in their first year. Police Union President Mike Solon tells 770 Seattle Red.
What this means is this would greenlight getting more cops to this city. And it shows that Bruce Harrell's office recognizes that we need more cops and we're desperate for more cops.
The new contract also makes the department's care team of behavioral health professionals permanent. They respond to non-criminal calls like someone experiencing a mental health crisis. We should know by Monday when westbound I-90 near Cle Elum will reopen. Troopers say an overheight truck rammed into an overpass yesterday. WashDOT's Megan Lott says engineers are assessing the damage.
So that we can start putting the pieces in motion to try and figure out when we can get an emergency contract to get this fixed and repaired.
More than 17,000 vehicles use I-90 near Cle Elum each day. More than 1,500 use that overpass. The Mariners' top brass is still processing a heartbreaking Game 7 loss in the ALCS. 3 days later, manager Dan Wilson says it still hurts.
It doesn't seem fitting that the way these guys played, how hard they played, how well they played, you know, the fight that they had the entire season. And I think that's the toughest part, and that's the part that stings.
The front office is taking the blame for not making the World Series and says it will add more to next season's roster. Signing Josh Naylor is a top priority. The 28-year-old first baseman is entering free agency. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with highs in the low 60s. It's 60 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Spike, we generally don't have interviews in the 1 o'clock hour. We usually will talk about something between the two of us. But there is a big local story here.
Maybe the biggest local story I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, in a while. It's super interesting, kind of disturbing, and so this is really Charlie Harger joins us now from Seattle's Morning News. Charlie, welcome to the show.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for staying. I know you get in pretty early.
He gets in early, but he hangs out for us. So this story really jumped out at me for a number of reasons, but one of them is we just talked to Nancy Backus, the mayor of Auburn.
Yes.
Just a week ago.
As a champion of community safety when they dumped the South Hill rapist in her community.
Exactly.
And she was up waving flags about community safety and protecting her town.
She said, let's get this guy out of here. And they did. They successfully got him out of there.
Good
now he has moved down to Federal Way. Now he's Federal Way's problem again. But at the time, we said, hey, you know what? Clearly you care about the safety of this community, and they're lucky to have you. And then I started reading this story, and tell me about what happened in Auburn, Charlie. And it's a lengthy piece, and I highly recommend everybody check it out. It's on mynorthwest.com. What happened in Auburn?
This is a story I got tipped off to about 6 weeks ago, and at first I was like, there is no way this can be true. And the gist of it was, I was told that Mayor Backus back in 2022 knew somebody who had been recently convicted of child rape. He had pleaded guilty to third-degree child rape, and she wrote a letter on his behalf asking that he not serve any jail time and instead be sentenced to community service. We can back up a little bit.
And treatment, or was that part of the article? She recommended
she asked for
as opposed to
treatment
incarceration.
as well, but not any jail time for somebody who had raped a 15-year-old that he was the youth pastor for. So we can back up a little bit here. This started back in 2018 when Josh Headley was a youth pastor in Auburn. This girl was in a Sunday music class, and he was her mentor for music. We would say not had sex with her. Instead, this is a child. Headley was 27. She was 15. This is rape, third-degree rape. And there's a series of text messages between the two. It would be what one would normally consider grooming.
This was with the child and the youth pastor.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, age of consent is something that they factored into all of this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A 27-year-old and a 15-year-old, that is not consent. And
Yeah.
if had a 15-year-old.
Can't do that.
Just know that.
100%.
You know that.
Yeah.
So this happened. A police investigation gets underway. And while the police investigation is underway, Pastor Headley goes off. He forms his own church. And at the same time, it's some really audacious stuff. Even as he knows he's under investigation for these charges, he is applying to become a chaplain with the Auburn Police Department. He is videoing the Miss Auburn Teen Pageant on behalf of a local blog. And he is also very involved with the Chamber of Commerce. And in 2020, this is during COVID, he is given an award by the Chamber of Commerce. Now, that's going to play here in a couple minutes here, but he's given an award by the Chamber of Commerce in 2020 for his service during COVID. During this time, pastors around the community are starting to hear buzz. They start hearing that there is this investigation underway into Headley. And one of them I spoke to in this report says he straight up warned Mayor Backus, we are hearing some bad things. And in fact, we're hearing that this may be something involving sex with a minor. You should stay away. And the pastor tells me he was told by Mayor Backus, of course, I would never have anything to do with that. That is what LaShawn Lambert, the pastor, tells me. Well, the conviction comes up in 2022. We have Headley eventually pleading guilty. And Backus decides, after being asked by Headley, she decides to write this letter asking for no jail time. She says she knows this not only will be better for the community, but she says she realizes how heavy this is because, after all, she is responsible for the safety of her city.
Okay.
So that is in the letter she shared with the defense attorney.
Let me ask you a quick question about that letter. How did Backus get a request to write this letter on behalf of Headley? Did they have personal relationship in some way? Did he know her, or was it through the attorney?
To a certain extent, there must have been a personal relationship. However, on the very day he pleads guilty, Headley sends an email to Mayor Backus at her auburn.gov email address.
Official address, yeah.
And says, hey, can I get your personal address because I have something kind of personal to ask you? To which she replies right away, anytime, my friend, here is my Gmail address.
This is the same day that he pleads guilty.
That he has pleaded guilty.
To rape.
Of a child.
Of a child, yeah.
And so it goes offline from there. We don't know what the back and forth, the communication was from there. But what we do know is eventually, a couple months later, Backus does write this letter, and then she shares it on her official government account, realizing there has to be some sort of public disclosure for this. So Headley goes to jail. And he spends 6 months. He's sentenced to 13 months. He serves 6 months, and he gets out. And almost immediately after he gets out, he's almost, it seems like he's welcomed with open arms by the business community and by different local political campaigns.
How so? I mean,
he is, first of all, he's hired by several different campaigns to do videos, to run social media, to consult for.
As a convicted convicted child rapist?
Yes, that's right. And it's more than a dozen. I have linked in the mynorthwest.com article where you can see each of the individual campaigns.
The clients from his media company.
And how much they paid him.
Okay.
We also have on the mynorthwest.com his thank you page, essentially, from his website, which he's now taken offline, but thanking the different political campaigns for helping them out.
One of the campaigns that we should point out is one of the Levy campaigns locally there, where his job was to go around and film school situations. There was a bus that he was filming. So he was being paid to be around children.
This is the Yes for Yelm Schools campaign. This was last year. And by the way, he at this time is a registered sex offender. It does not appear last year as though he was sharing his new pseudonym, his alias of Jay Seeley. He's doing business as this guy named Jay Seeley.
So there's a
he
name
had
change
been
that happens.
Joshua Headley. He comes back. And through
he rebrands himself with an alias.
He rebrands himself with an alias. And so Seeley Media is hired to go record video with the Yes for Yelm School campaign. He shares a picture of himself on Instagram videoing a school bus. Also, the Yes for Yelm Schools, the ads that he had at least some part in, they feature young people, teenagers, talking why it is so important to have a school levy pass. So he's not only doing that, but also other political campaigns, primarily around South King County, using this other name. As he's using this other name, he's also being celebrated by the very Auburn Chamber of Commerce, where he had won the award in 2020.
As Headley.
As Headley. Now he is not only a sponsor of an awards event for the Chamber of Commerce in 2024 as Seeley. He's also nominated for an award by the Chamber. I think it might be a good part to mention right now that through our investigation, we came to understand he is married to a member of the board of directors for the Chamber of Commerce.
That makes a lot more sense now.
And while the Chamber of Commerce had not responded to my request for comment earlier this month, when they either saw or heard the promotions yesterday that we were going to be doing this story, I did get a statement from them around 6 o'clock. They had mentioned the name of Headley's wife as their main contact, only describing her as a member of the community, not divulging that A, this is his wife, and B, she is on the board of directors for the Auburn Chamber.
So do these clients that worked with his media company with Seeley, do they not know it was Headley? I mean,
it's hard to tell, right?
Doesn't he have to? Isn't he by law required to, if he changes his name?
Yeah, he's got to disclose
his new name's also got to be registered.
The sex offender registry, and I want to be very careful in how I describe this. The sex offender registry, if you are to, of course, register once you get out of prison. One of the important things in Washington state law you will notice is that if you do start using an alias, you have to report it to the King County Sheriff's Office within 3 days. Headley began using this Seeley alias in 2023. In my communication with the King County Sheriff's Office, they tell me they were not made aware of this alias until a tip from the community came in March of 2025.
It's hard to say we didn't know it was the same guy, though, when your wife is on the committee for the Chamber of Commerce. It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It would strain credulity to think that they were just completely unaware of that.
I want to bring up one more thing. That is, I initially reached out to Mayor Backus. I believe it was Friday the 3rd. It's Friday, the first Friday of this month, and only her, asking for a comment on this story after I had done some investigation, was starting to get my arms around it. I had some questions for her, and I wanted to send an email. Said, you don't have to answer right away, but I would like a response by next Tuesday. Didn't hear back from her. Also that day, I issued a public information request, a FOIA, with the city of Auburn. So that's on Friday. On Saturday, I get an email from Headley. And Headley goes, I understand there may be a news story coming out.
Did you email him initially?
No.
Is this the first contact you ever had with him?
Correct.
So how did he know? Was that just a coincidence that he just pulled it out of the ether? He said, I wonder if KIRO's writing a story about me.
That must have been it, because the only people I contacted, again, were Mayor Backus and the public disclosure request. I asked Mayor Backus directly in a follow-up, did you tell Headley? And she denies it, says she hasn't spoken to him for 3 years. But she says she did share the email from me with her city attorney and communications office, but has not really given an explanation to how this might have
Is it possible that somebody in the communications office or through the city attorney's office made Headley, or possibly somebody at the Chamber of Commerce, through the connection of his wife being there? She's on the board of directors, right? Is it possible that that's how they got the information?
I will say the only two resources I reached out to were Mayor Backus at her private email address with the city and the public disclosure request.
What a strange story. So what's the current state of things? Is this guy still operating in Auburn, or has he tried to go into, like, what's happening?
Looking at the public disclosure requests up until at least 2 months ago, and that's basically the most recent reporting you're going to get with the Public Disclosure Commission, you are seeing different campaigns still writing him checks. What I will say is that Mayor Backus has said she hasn't spoken to him in 3 years. Chamber of Commerce says they have very little involvement with Headley, and that you will also see that his website, sealymedia.com, has been taken offline.
Just completely scrubbed?
Yes.
There's so many things about this that are so disturbing. And I mean, in the letter that Backus, in the article, you point this out, and it's definitely worth noting. In the letter that Backus wrote on behalf of Headley, is there any discussion in that letter about the victim in this case, who was 15 years old at the time?
No, not in the letter she shared with the defense attorney back in 2022. What is mentioned in that letter, which I find interesting, is the word restorative justice. And Mayor Backus, in her response to me earlier this month, and in her comments trying to explain to the 30th District Democrats earlier this year why she would write such a letter for Headley, she says she's a firm believer in restorative justice. Now, restorative justice has a very specific legal definition. The King County Prosecutor's Office offers this in certain cases. So I reached out to Casey McNerthy with the King County Prosecutor's Office, and I go, Casey, is this a restorative justice case? And I'm thinking maybe I'm just barking up the wrong tree, and this is a perfectly reasonable explanation.
This was her rationale for her decision to write this letter.
And Casey goes, no, that did not happen in this case. Almost never happens in a sexual assault case, and would not happen when it's an adult raping a child. So I circle back to Mayor Backus. Mayor Backus, are you saying this was restorative justice through the King County Prosecutor's Office? Only then does she respond back, no, I'm using this as a general term.
Yeah.
What's interesting, though, in the email that Headley sent me unsolicited, he talks about his journey through restorative justice. And in the email I got from the Chamber of Commerce yesterday, they also mention restorative justice. But what I'm not sure a lot of people realize is this is a more generic term and not the legal term that one might initially think.
And what is the legal term?
So restorative justice is with the prosecutor's office. When you do that, let's say you're a kid who steals from a store.
Sure.
You, the kid, get together with the store owner. The store owner tells you how much this has impacted them and why it's so important to not steal, and really get it through to the kid. Hey, you've done a bad thing. Maybe instead of sending you to jail, sending you through the court system, we do it this way instead.
You make amends. You do maybe community service, whatever it may be.
So that is restorative justice.
As a concept.
That's the legal term.
broad oversimplification, but yes.
Yeah. Okay.
In this term, it's interesting because the pastors I spoke to say, okay, restoration also requires some sort of communication or at least rehabilitation with the community. And they don't see that. What they see is somebody who commits a crime while being embraced by the business and civic and political community, spends time in prison, and once he gets out, immediately assumes a new name and begins a new career working with many of those same people that he had been in the past.
Using those same contacts to start up a new life for himself, a new business life for himself.
Using a new name. It feels more like a sweeping it under the rug justice is what they're trying to do.
That would be your analysis.
That's my analysis.
That's why they pay him the big bucks. I think it's spot on.
So Mayor Backus has not responded since.
She's not responded since. She has said in the most recent email she would not have sent this letter if she had it all to do over again based on what her current knowledge is of the case. She also acknowledges one person in this email that she did not in 2022. She said that her heart goes out to the victim.
Well, it's a horrible story,
and we're only scratching the surface.
Seriously, she wouldn't have written the letter did she know more now than she knew then about this case? If she didn't know then, how would she write such a letter then? I mean, it seems to me to write a letter like that asking for no jail time for a convicted child rapist, you must know a lot about the story to write a letter saying, please don't put this guy in jail. I can't believe this is unbelievable. It's the only way to put it.
MyNorthwest.com. Not only do we have a lengthy video describer, but we go through the entire case. Wow. In print, you can see some of the materials that were being used as we just kind of go through this case. It's a read. It's definitely a read.
Yeah. All right, Charlie Harger, great work. Thanks for reporting on this, and thanks for coming in.
Appreciate it.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We will be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
A KIRO Newsradio exclusive.
This is Charlie Harder. I've spent the past 6 weeks investigating a story involving a youth pastor, child abuse, a mayor, and a name change, all while civic leaders appear to look the other way.
I've read the police report. It is horrible. It is sickening.
There's some level of calculation there.
You have to make it right.
How does no one have a problem with it?
Watch the full story at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
So what'll you have today? Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry?
When it comes to picking ice cream, there are lots of choices, and they all look and sound so good. Choosing a Medicare plan is a lot like that. So many options, all sound good. But if you pick a plan that's not right for you, there can be serious consequences. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Open enrollment season is underway, and we're all being inundated with advertisements encouraging us to choose this Medicare Advantage plan or that one. Maybe the best choice for you is traditional Medicare. To make an informed decision, you need to do your homework. The Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program has a free Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit to get you started.
This is Insurance Commissioner Patty Kuderer. Our Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit has a checklist of 7 easy steps to help you decide which Medicare plan is right for you.
Order your free toolkit today at insurance.wa.gov. That's insurance.wa.gov. Or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center. Then go get an ice cream.
Right now at Les Schwab Tires, it's the Fall Tire Fest. Save up to $120 instantly on select sets of 4 all-weather tires. You'll get year-round all-weather performance, no matter what Mother Nature throws your way. And every tire comes with America's best tire warranty. 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Just another way you'll get more from less. Stop by a store or shop online at leschwab.com. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Ooh, ma.
What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision.
If you're over 50 and you've been diagnosed with a cataract, or your vision is changing as you're developing an early cataract, you could be a perfect candidate for K2 Vision RLE.
It's inevitable. At some point, typically in your 60s or 70s, you'll have a dysfunctional lens that eventually becomes a cataract. To restore your vision, you will someday need a procedure such as refractive lens exchange.
The question is, are you done with glasses? Do you want to spend your good, active years hassling with changing prescriptions and needing readers?
K2 Vision RLE can give you great vision now, permanently, and you'll never develop that cataract. The procedure is quick and painless, and our state-of-the-art custom lens technologies give highly predictable outcomes.
K2 Vision surgeons have performed nearly 100,000 procedures. We know when RLE is right for you.
Find out. Schedule a free Zoom consultation at k2visionrle.com.
K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event, now extended through October 26th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event, extended to October 26th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Hey there, Dawn Riding with Olympic Hot Tub. You know what's better than soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa? Knowing you got it for an incredible price during our great rebate event. Save up to $4,500 on the best hot tub you can own. Saltwater soaking, incredible savings, sleeping better, feeling better. What are you waiting for? Our great rebate event ends October 27th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. Catch 10-time Grammy winner Arturo Sandoval, October 23rd through 26th at Dimitro's Jazz Alley. The Cuban trumpet legend lights up the stage with Afro-Cuban rhythms and high-energy jazz. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Sticker shock is starting to set in for those who buy health insurance under the Affordable Care Act. Nanette and her husband just went looking for insurance on the state's Apple Care Health Exchange.
The estimate for our premiums was going to include a $400 a month increase. That's close to $5,000 a year.
These higher costs are at the center of the government shutdown. Democrats like Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray say Republicans are refusing to extend tax credits to lower those monthly premiums.
We are nearly a week away from a complete healthcare disaster.
Republicans say they want to pass a spending bill to reopen the government before negotiating on those credits. CBS's Erica Brown reports on this day 23 of the shutdown.
Thursday, the Senate failed to advance a Republican proposal to pay federal workers and military members who are working during the shutdown without pay.
The motion is not agreed to.
Democrats who rejected the proposal argued the bill would give the White House broad authority to determine which federal workers get paid and which do not.
Well, federal workers in parts of western Washington can now ride transit for free during the shutdown. Kitsap, Pierce, and Mason counties are waiving fares for anyone who shows a government-issued employee ID. The agency say it's a way to help workers who are still on duty but are not getting paid. This change starts tomorrow. Some prominent NBA names are among more than 30 people arrested this morning in 2 separate gambling investigations.
I'm Peter King. The indictment involving betting on games mentions 4 NBA teams, but the scope may have been wider. The indictment says an Orlando Magic player gave out inside information about a 2023 game against Cleveland that wound up being used by a gambler. That player is not mentioned by name. Neither the player nor the team are accused of criminal activity. The team tells the Orlando Sentinel it's aware but has no indication that any of its current players were involved. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
At today's closing bell, stocks posted strong gains. The Dow up 144, NASDAQ ahead 201, S&P ahead by 39. 134 now. We go to Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thank you, Aaron. Harnish Auto Family's got the update. We've got a collision in Kirkland, North 405 and Northeast 85th. It's taking up your left general purpose lane. You're in about a mile backup right now. Bellevue to Linwood, plan on 25 minutes. Seattle to Linwood, in comparison, just 15 minutes. It's wide open. Now coming the other way, Linwood to Seattle's at 20 minutes, and it's crowded from about Northeast 50th there in the U District in the downtown. Both of our lake bridges are all clear in both directions. South 405 slowly filling in now between Factoria and Renton. Bellevue to Renton's at 20 minutes. And North 5 heading into Seattle gets crowded at the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Outside of that, we're looking really good out there. We are Harnish Auto Family, and this month we've partnered with Mobile Mammo Northwest. For every test drive you take, we'll make a donation on your behalf. Harnish Auto Family, people matter. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly cloudy skies today. Some coastal rain moves in later on tonight. Tomorrow, heavy rain and windy. Right now, 63 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Perfect song for this next segment. Perfect. Welcome back to the show, by the way. All right, this is a weird story. I don't know what to make of this. We're going to need to all collectively think about this together. Just kind of gawk at it together. I'm not sure what to make of this. A couple years ago, Suzanne Summers, super famous TV icon.
She was my era.
She was your era.
At one point in time during the show, Three's Company was one of the hottest shows on television, if not number one, at one point in its run.
She was like the it girl, right?
Suzanne Summers was America's sweetheart.
Yeah.
Chrissy Snow from John Ritter and Janet. I forget what Janet was the other character on the show, right?
That's how famous Suzanne Summers
exactly.
was. The other one, you just go, what's her name?
She was an icon.
Yeah.
Posters in their bedroom wall.
Yes.
Icon.
Yes.
America loves Suzanne Summers.
They loved her. I knew her from, what's the show that she did with Patrick Duffy? It was on TGIF, which I've talked about here on this show. It was called Step by Step.
Step by Step.
Remember that show?
I do.
Step by step.
Didn't have a poster.
Day by day. New start over and different hands to play. I don't know if that's the actual words to it.
I like it.
Can we look up Step by Step, that song? Can you pull that up? That was a great show, by the way. And she was still very attractive, although more in a mom way.
Right. And she aged beautifully.
Yeah.
You know, and she stayed in the public eye throughout the entirety of her career.
She had her Thigh Master.
The Thigh Master, that was like the first celebrity endorsement that was globally accepted.
It was like the Thigh Master, and then after that, it was it would have been like who did the George Foreman Grill would have been shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
And then it was just everybody.
Everybody said we're doing it.
Do we have the Step by Step song, Andrew? Do you have that? Here it is. This takes me back.
Is this how you spent your nights as a teenager? A preteen, right? Preteen?
Yeah, I think it would preteen. It was just TGIF, so this would have been on Friday. Obviously, it's TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. I just really wanted the chorus, see if I was right. It doesn't matter because that's not the point of the story.
the point of the story is all things old are new again.
Yes.
And love springs eternal is the point of the story.
That's not it. All right, I'm sure I was right.
How long was the opener?
It's a long opening. Back in the day, they had long openings on TV shows back in the day. You remember that? Like
Sure.
how long
you bet. And they
had
cut
some
those.
patience.
They cut those down for sake of selling commercials.
Yeah. And now my kids, oh, here we go. Yep. Pretty close.
You nailed it.
Pretty good. All right, turn this off. Turn this garbage off. Suzanne Summers' husband, who they were married for 55 years? 55 years, I think.
That's lovely. That doesn't happen.
You know, it's amazing, especially in Hollywood. In Hollywood, that's 1,000 years. They were married for 1,000 years in Hollywood time. But her husband, Alan Hamill, has just revealed that he has AI cloned his wife. AI cloned his wife. And
it's for online fan interaction.
Oh, this is not for his?
That's what I'm reading in the story. He's created an AI clone of Suzanne for online fan interactions. And when you read the story, you feel Suzanne Summers' AI clone created by her husband. You know,
I thought it was a lot darker.
I thought it was for companionship.
Yeah,
that was my first thought.
He's 89 years old, though. I was just like, what is this guy doing? What's he need an AI clone for?
Well,
he says when you look at the finished one next to the real Suzanne, you can't tell the difference. It's amazing. I mean, I've been with Suzanne for 55 years, so I know what her face looks like. When I just look at the two of them side by side, I really can't tell which one is real and which one is the AI. This is so. I think a little bit it might be for companionship, don't you think?
I'm appreciative that they've got a public-facing, business fan-based reason for doing this to interact with her fans.
Oh yeah, so she can be uploaded onto SuzanneSummers.com. Then she can become a 24/7 AI chatbot to her fans. That's right.
But do you think it's?
Do I think it's creepy?
Well, wouldn't it be a waste if he couldn't drive some form of Suzanne Summer AI for companionship?
Well,
to interact with him on a daily basis, the love of his life, 55 years married together. And you've got this AI ability to interact with the love of your life after they're gone.
I feel like it would be just sad. I think it would be
sadder than being alone after 55 years of marriage in your late 80s?
It's not the real thing. It's not the real thing. And you've had the real thing and you know the real thing and so the idea of interacting with a facsimile of that would seem to be like almost I think it would be almost torturous.
Interesting.
And I wonder, here's another question for you. He AI clones her. Mm-hmm. She died at 76.
Yeah.
How old does he AI clone her? That's my first thought was not like, oh, what a creepy thing to do. My first thought was like, I wonder how old she was when he remade her.
It's funny you say that because
is it 23-year-old Suzanne Summers?
If you're going to put, Suzanne Summers in the last couple years of her life when she was obviously an older woman, the love of his life.
Yeah.
Or do you go with, aerobics queen, fitness
you do
guru,
thigh master
Suzanne?
Nice thighs.
There you go. Look at that. And that's her in her heyday in prime.
Show
you put
that
back
again?
up. Yeah. Suzanne Summers. I mean, she was the most popular woman in America.
Laura, who should he remake? What is it? 76-year-old?
I like this version.
Yeah.
It's not like child or teen version of her.
No, it's not.
It feels age appropriate.
It's super fitness.
He's 89.
Yeah, it's aerobics queen Suzanne Summers, America's fitness queen, right there. Yeah, she was a beautiful.
Is that the
woman.
AI?
I don't think so. I don't know. Is
that real or AI? She looks very young there.
Well, my point being, what you asked, who would you make your companion?
Let's say you were married to Suzanne Summers for all these years, and then she passes away. Sadly, obviously, you miss her. You have a chance to recreate her.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, what age? And then number two, would you make any additions?
Oh, not to perfection.
I'm just kidding.
I know. I appreciate the.
But what age would you choose?
Do you like golf?
I love golf.
Do you take one club when you go golfing?
No.
Right. I would have, and I bet you AI can do this.
Sure.
Here's Suzanne Summers, who I'm talking to today's, from the day we lost you for daily companionship. You remember that time when we went to blank, blank, blank? All of a sudden, AI transfers to that Suzanne.
Now she's
interacting with you from the memory
again.
From the memory that you shared at that stage of your life. I mean, AI's getting better by the minute.
AI is very good. I will say this with my own wife.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid anything ever happened.
Knock wood.
I would only remake her current age, and she would age gracefully with me.
Yeah, there you go.
I would never.
That's another great question.
I would no. I'm just saying this for the radio.
No, but as you age, would you want your AI partner to age with you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to be a weirdo.
Well, that's not weird. Love ain't weird. Don't even handle father child at 83. It ain't weird.
If the goal is to have some believable connection with this person,
yes, exactly.
If I'm starting to notice that they're not aging, now I'm just like, oh man, you're not aging. Oh, that's right, you're a computer. But I guess if I'm talking to somebody on my phone only,
there you go.
Then it's going to remind me of it.
I think it can be a lovely resource for people who have lost their loved ones. You know. I think it would be too haunting to do.
Would
you? How about I lost my mom 12 years ago now. Lost my mom. Would I want to speak to an AI version of my mom who could talk to me? Yeah,
you can.
I probably would love to. Is it weird? Is it better just to have her in my memory and speak to her spiritually through my beliefs? I firmly believe that I communicate with my mom more now than I did in the later years of her life because I was a terrible son. I took everything for granted.
I'm sure that's.
I just took everything for granted. I didn't call my mom as often as I should have.
Listen, nobody does.
No, exactly. I'm not.
Forgive yourself, Spike. Move on. You don't need to do that.
But I communicate with her now.
Yeah.
I'll ask questions to my mom, and I feel like I get an answer from my mom. Do I need AI?
I don't think you need AI.
I don't think I do either.
Stay away from AI. AI is scary. But if it looks like Suzanne Summers did when she was 23, I understand the appeal.
Hey, you know,
I get it.
That's an upside.
I get it. But he's 89, so I don't know. It feels a little icky to me. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The Closing Bell is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
The voice of the Mariners for 40 years.
There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
The Rick Riz Show on Seattle's Morning News.
Rick. We have finally reached the end of the baseball season.
Oh, Amanda.
Have you recovered yet?
Oh, what a year. You know, it was the best year on the field in the history of the franchise. One that I'll never forget, and I don't think the fans will ever forget either.
Get the full conversation on the KIRO Newsradio app and at mynorthwest.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Amazon, or at newnordicusa.com.
Kia just dropped the biggest EV deals we've ever seen. Save thousands on the EV6, EV9, Niro EV, and more at Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
You've been wiring pounds to a second wife in London.
It's not what it looks like.
And here she is now.
Sure it isn't.
Hello, darling.
Elizabeth?
Did you know our husband used a bank instead of Wise to send you money?
What an imbecile. Well,
see, even your secret wife knows that banks are slow and hide fees in overseas transfers.
Those cheaters.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. They're faster and they don't hide fees.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
Welcome back to the show. All right, this is a very interesting topic, Spike. Something happened to you. Is this on the way in?
On the way to work. On the way to work.
All right.
Yeah.
So this happened to you earlier, and you came in all hot and bothered, and you said, "Hey, I got something."
So I imagine other people have experiences. I wonder if they're having the same reaction I am. And this ain't the first time this has happened to me, and I kind of feel this way, and I've felt this way every time it happens. So I know I really feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming to work today, and I'm pulling out of a parking lot, and it's on a stretch of road that's got limited visibility, but I've made this exit on the roadway numerous times. And I pull out of the parking lot and somebody comes ripping around a corner, approaching me on the roadway, and they're doing about, it's hard to guess from a sitting position, but I've been driving for a long time.
Sure.
It's a 35-mile-an-hour roadway. This guy had to be doing over 60.
Way more than 35.
Way more than 35, which limits my ability to merge into traffic.
Sure.
Now, instead of me, what was a nice, clear, open way, is now that guy, some guy barreling down on me from behind. I'm looking in the rearview mirror, expecting to get rear-ended by this truck.
Ugh.
This truck that is a company truck. And I'm not talking about like from a local company that I've seen before in the area. I've seen numerous.
You're not going to name them.
I'm not going to name them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name them. But I'm never going to call them. Because of the way this driver is taking that company truck around town and watching, and I've seen this truck around, but it's the first time I've ever seen somebody being this careless and this dangerous in a company truck. And we put names on trucks for a reason. You're advertising your business.
Yeah.
They're rolling billboards. And now you've got a rolling billboard for an irresponsible employee that you hired.
It's surprising to me that they would be so brazen, knowing that people are...
In a company truck.
Yeah, in a company truck. I'm the exact same way. If I see it works in two different ways. If I see somebody driving crazy in a work vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely will make a mental note that that's a check against them.
Yeah.
On the other side of that, if they're not doing anything bad, if I see a vehicle that looks really nice, like if I see a company truck for like a landscape thing,
Impressive.
or if I see,
right.
if it's a nice wrap on the truck, if it's a nice vehicle,
Yeah, well maintained.
It doesn't look like a homemade job, but it looks like they actually invested some money into it.
Yeah.
I also will mentally note that. I have these, I write them down in my notes app. I won't say it, I won't write it as I'm driving.
Sure.
But I will speak it into my phone. I'll say like, hey, bop, 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 bop. And in case I ever need that service, it's because they are rolling advertisements. And it's crazy when they do the bad stuff.
I couldn't believe how this guy was driving. I couldn't believe it. To the point where I was tempted to catch him in traffic because I know we got I know there's a red light up ahead.
Oh yeah.
I was tempted. I was so hot and bothered.
Vigilante, finger wagging.
Yeah, roll down the window. Does your boss know you drive like this? Is there a 1-800 number? How's my driving on the back of the truck?
Well,
because I would make that call.
You could call the business. And you could tell them your driver, because you know who the business is.
I do. I've seen their truck numerous times.
You could call them and be like, hey, I just want to let you know that your driver is nuts. And they were driving along, and they know who that is.
Are you the owner of the company? How many trucks? Because they've got a few trucks. It probably wasn't the owner of the company in this truck.
Probably not. Probably a worker. We did that when I was producing for Dory. He was driving on the road, and he got behind a car, I believe he almost saw a wreck, but he got behind a car of a company truck. I won't say the name of the company, but we talked about it on the air.
Oh.
And he was 100% certain that this person was drunk driving.
Oh, wow.
You could just, have you ever called 911 on a person you suspect of drunk driving?
I actually have.
Yeah.
I actually have. Somebody who's drifting in the lane, somebody who's like on the freeway, usually at night, and you see them, all of a sudden they're doing 85, then they're back doing 50.
Yep.
For no reason.
Or they're swaying and they overcorrect.
Right, course correct. They're drifting out of lane, back in lane.
I think I've done it twice.
Okay, I've done it once.
Because I do feel like if I don't do it, I always think in my head, if I don't do it and 2 miles down the road, they get into an accident.
Something tragic happens.
We read stories about that all the time. Yeah. It's awful. And I would feel guilty. And especially now that we work in news, we would see that. It would come across our desk if a drunk driver hits and hurts somebody.
And I've seen it happen, not with this company. This is the first time I've seen this company's truck doing this. But you're right, I should call the company.
You should.
I really should.
And not to be a
no,
Karen
but say, hey, listen, I want to make you aware.
Not to be a Ken about it.
Right.
But just say, hey, I just want to let you know, your driver going a little fast.
Yeah.
I understand people have to be places.
More than a little.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, and this is your brand. This is rolling advertisement for you, and it's rolling advertisement that your guys are responsible.
Just be like, by the way, I have a very successful radio show.
I don't want to talk about your company.
I'm not going to badmouth you, although I could.
Well, yes, I do need a brand. Yeah. No, I don't need a damn thing. But if I ever do need what this company provides, I'm not going to call them.
Not going to them.
I'm not calling them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, drive safe out there, people. All right, we have a lot more coming up. Stick around. We will be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done. With precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event, now extended through October 26th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event, extended to October 26th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Day 23 of the government shutdown. The focus is on federal workers missing their pay. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Because there is no movement on this short-term resolution that they've been voting over and over again. You have both parties putting forward proposals to pay different sectors kind of in piecemeal. And we've not seen any success with any of those yet.
The Republican plan has already failed in a vote today. President Trump has scrapped plans to deploy federal agents to San Francisco.
So the companies that are there that are all working, and those are the people that asked me, could you do away with the surge and let's see how it works? And we'll do that. If we need to, we'll do it. But it's possible that we won't need to, and we will be focusing on other places like Chicago.
Matt Bigler reports there were protests this morning ahead of the expected deployment.
The Border Patrol literally arrived with a bang in the Bay Area. Agents setting off flashbang grenades to disperse a large crowd blocking the entrance to a Coast Guard base.
It was loud, hurt people's ears. The people who were closer were coughing and saying that they were having trouble breathing.
At least 2 protesters suffered minor injuries. Rabbi Kat Zavis says they plan to continue standing up for immigrant rights, even if President Trump's planned surge of federal forces to San Francisco is being called off.
So we are here to protect people, regardless of what Trump says.
Matt Bigler for CBS News, Oakland, California.
Peter King reports some prominent NBA names are among the more than 30 people arrested this morning in 2 separate gambling probes.
The indictments are for allegedly rigged poker games, partly run by organized crime. Former athletes were used to attract starstruck but unsuspecting bettors. U.S. Attorney Joseph Nocella on the big names arrested.
Sean C. Billups, who at the time of the scheme was a former NBA player and is currently the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. And also Damon Jones, Jones, a former NBA player and coach.
A second probe involves betting on NBA games based on confidential information. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier among those indicted. He was arrested in Orlando this morning.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is the latest administration official to travel to Israel in support of the Gaza peace plan. CBS's Holly Williams.
That ceasefire has held more or less for more than 13 days now, although at times it has appeared to be teetering on the brink of collapse.
Asked today about a symbolic vote by Israel's parliament to annex the West Bank, President Trump said they're not going to do anything with the West Bank. On Wall Street, at the closing bell, stocks were higher, the Dow up 144. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
A string of arsons hit South Seattle, but first we go to the traffic desk with Nate Connors.
All right, this report brought to us by the Emerald Queen Casino in Pacific. We've got a new collision. It's northbound 167 at Jovita Boulevard. It's blocking your HOV lane. Luckily, volumes are so light down there right now, not much of a backup. Ironically, it's southbound 167 that jams up briefly near our crash site. Linwood to Seattle, plan on 20 minutes. It's thick from Northeast 50th into downtown. North 5, we're getting crowded as you approach the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Both of our lake bridges remain all clear. Southbound 405 now heavy as you head through Factoria. Coal Creek Parkway, though, you'll start to thin out. Bellevue to Renton, 20 minutes. And up in Everett, eastbound 526 is packed, leaving the Boeing plant and heading over to I-5. The Emerald Queen Casino is the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports, featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, kiosks, and more. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. A series of recent arsons is under investigation in South Seattle. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi has more.
6 fires were set in the Central District, Mount Baker, and Rainier Beach neighborhoods between October 17th and October 22nd. The fires involved homes, a commercial building, a car, and even a portable toilet. Back in July and August, several other fires were intentionally set in that same area. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
56-year-old man is dead after a hit and run in Seattle. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with more on the search for that suspect.
Seattle Police Detective Eric Munoz says the victim was crossing 15th Avenue near 73rd in Ballard Wednesday night in a spot not designated for crossing.
They were crossing the street diagonally southbound when they were struck by that vehicle.
Paramedics worked on the victim at the scene, but say he died in the street. Police say the suspect's car is a silver sedan, most likely with front-end damage. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Well, some Washington parents and educators are suing over a House bill that overhauls the state's Parental Bill of Rights. They argue it limits what schools can share with families about their kids. Paige McElrath is with the Citizen Action and Defense Fund.
It effectively violates parental rights, violates religious freedoms, the single subject rule in the Washington Constitution, violates FERPA, and conflicts with general federal policies.
But supporters say the law protects students from discrimination. The Attorney General's office says it has not yet seen that lawsuit, but will respond in court. Well, it seems every Seattle Mariner fan agrees about at least one key move the team should make this offseason. Bring back Josh Naylor. General Manager Justin Hollander says they will try.
Definitely a priority for us. He fits in great here. And just a really good person, easy person to like.
Naylor came over at the trade deadline and played a big role in the M's playoff run that ended in Game 7 of the ALCS. The 28-year-old first baseman is entering this offseason as a free agent. Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Today looking at mostly cloudy skies. Rain moves in along the coast tonight. Heavy rain, a region-wide for tomorrow. Right now, 63 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Tons of great stuff to get to. Chris Sullivan's going to join us in just a little bit. It's almost the weekend, and we have some fun weather heading our way, if you like snow. Spike O'Neill, welcome to this hour of the show.
Thank you, my friend.
Should we talk a little bit more about that NBA crazy story that's dominating all of news right now?
It's getting bigger. Every time I look up at the TV, there's a new headline, a new name floating around.
The new one
More
that they
details.
are now connecting it to is LeBron James.
Well, let's be careful.
No, I was just going to tell you how he's connected.
Yeah, because LeBron.
This is what the ESPN says. ESPN says James is obviously he's not accused of wrongdoing in this indictment, but Jones was former 11-year NBA player Damon Jones was arrested Thursday amid charges that he allegedly disclosed privileged injury information about a, quote, prominent basketball player to facilitate illegal sports betting, authorities announced. LeBron James was the prominent player, a source close to James told ESPN. James was not accused of wrongdoing in this indictment. This is all from ESPN. Let me continue reading this for a second. Jones was one of 34 people arrested alongside Portland Trail Blazers coach Chauncey Billups, so that's a local connection here, and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier as part of a years-long investigation spanning nearly a dozen states and involving tens of millions of dollars. And then they get into the nitty-gritty of what actually happened, and listen to this part. James was unaware that Jones, his former teammate and assistant coach with the Cavaliers, was involved in a gambling activity when Jones spent time around James and the Lakers during the 22-23 season, the source said. The federal indictment alleges that before a Lakers game against the Bucks on February 9, 2023, Jones texted a conspirator to get a big bet on Milwaukee tonight because James was going to be out. James, who passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the NBA's all-time leading scorer in a previous game on February 7th, would go on to miss 3 straight games because of a sore left ankle.
And so this guy knew about it and got a fat bet in.
And he's, allegedly. So he sent this text again to somebody possibly involved. Jones allegedly added via the text, quote, bet enough so D. Jones can eat blank now. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And that seems to me like somebody who knows something, and now they're trying to make money on it.
Yeah,
so
that's
this guy was arrested
blatant.
along with other folks.
I mean, the story broke this morning, and when we first got the initial, it was a private poker game scam stretching across multiple states from Manhattan to Miami. And what happened was NBA players would get into these games. They would fall into debt because these games were being orchestrated by organized crime families using technology that had everything from tables that could microchip read cards that were on the table.
X-ray glasses.
Of contact lenses that could see marked cards.
Crazy.
Poker chips containing computer chips. That could tell
secret cameras.
I mean, it's
everything.
High tech, a James Bond movie type stuff.
Yeah.
Ocean's 11 type stuff.
It's
beyond.
It's very Ocean's 11. It's
right?
exactly like an Ocean's 11.
So you got these organized crime families, and fixing sporting events has been rumored. It was historically rumored to sports, to gambling, right?
Yeah.
But now they've got the technology of modern age technology, and the crime families are using this. You bring in these NBA players, as you mentioned earlier. You spend a lot of time around NBA players as your time with the Sonics.
Yeah.
And these guys are extremely well-paid young men who live for adventure and action. And they're a lot of them love to gamble. There's nothing wrong with gambling.
I love to gamble.
But when you get involved with organized crime,
but I don't have all the extra money that they have. It's very easy to fall into
guys
this.
show up with $50,000, $100,000 in cash, $200,000 in cash.
No problem.
And
for these guys.
you get in deep to organized crime because you're deep in debt, and then it becomes, hey, bring us some fresh fish, bring us some other younger players, and you're in debt, and what are you going to do? You're going to give them what they need because they got you at this point, and you get to the point where like, hey, I'm going to need you to miss a couple free throws against the Kings.
Just shave 2 points off the game. Don't lose the game.
And it's not I'm not asking you to throw to Game 7 of the finals. It's a meaningless game. You're 12 games out. It's late in the season. You ain't going nowhere. What's it matter? You beat the Kings.
Yeah.
And I'll wipe your debt clean. And that's how they get these guys, right?
And then they own them. And then you can tell them to do whatever you want.
Is gambling? You mentioned to me earlier this morning that ESPN is covering this story this morning, right? You're watching.
Oh yeah, this was funny. So
you're watching this, and ESPN's got what feature that they?
ESPN has something called ESPN Bet, and it's a betting thing through ESPN, and they have at the bottom of their screen. It's like it's like a crawl at the bottom of the screen. Yeah. But it's permanently there. Just like we have, like if you're watching us right now on YouTube, which I hope you are, go to youtube.com, search KIRO Newsradio 97.3, and Jake and Spike Live will pop up. We have a banner at the bottom of our screen, takes up about the lower fifth, And it says Jake and Spike, weekdays, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Subscribe on YouTube, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, we don't have a banner that says, if you want to bet on the next time Spike says something stupid, click here.
Although
we don't do
make
that.
Extra money.
Well, ESPN had this banner on their thing.
ESPN has this banner, and as they're covering the story, in the very middle of the story, suddenly the banner, poof, disappears. In the middle of a sentence.
Somebody in the control room figured out, hey, guys.
We're covering an illegal gambling story. This looks kind of bad. This is also funny. I just saw this tweet. Somebody posted this. They said, the NBA is this is obviously a joke, but it's still funny. The NBA is very concerned about the multiple arrests made as a result of the FBI sports gambling code. Use code multi-arrest for a 30% profit boost on three-leg parlay with DraftKings, the official gambling partner of the NBA.
Well, that's what I was getting to.
And that's the problem.
Yes, every game you watch. And I'm going to point out in particular whether it's, DraftKings or whatever other.
Bet365 or whatever it is.
Bet365, MGM.
BetMGM.
Multi-million-dollar ad campaigns.
It's massive.
For full-time gambling, which is okay. That's fine. But there are disturbing stats about sports gambling. 40% of people who express an interest in sports gambling show tendencies that border on a gambling addiction or disorder.
Sure.
The amount of homes who have if your home has a gambler in your home, you have 4 times as likely to experience bankruptcy.
Really?
Because of sports gambling. Yes. The intersection of sports and gambling, two things that go great together.
I don't gamble on sports. I do. Like, I'll play cards with friends.
Well, people are passionate.
But we don't play for real money, obviously. I wouldn't say that on the radio.
So
we play for just respect,
for fun.
Gentlemanly respect.
And the thrill of the game. It gets guys to come in with their $50, $100,000.
We come in with like Monopoly money. It's just fake, and we're just having fun, and it's not real money. And I would never say that on the radio. But I do know people who do gamble with real money, and it sure is a heck of a lot of fun. Again, I wouldn't suggest
I got no problem with people who gamble responsibly. But a lot of people can't control themselves.
Well, that is the problem. And the problem is that all of these leagues now, every single one of these leagues has a major gambling partner. Mm-hmm. Even in college sports, you have all this stuff going on. And back in the day, gambling was persona non grata. They didn't want anything to do with it.
Right.
You weren't allowed to do any of that stuff. You weren't supposed to. And now it's like your main partners are gambling
sites.
You
bet.
And it's
Internet
just
sites,
it's a
websites.
It's a weird line that has been crossed. And can you ever go back? No, I don't think so. It's so intertwined now.
How do you keep the game clean? I mean, stories like this where you do investigations
for the rest of time. There was an NBA guy. I forget the guy's name, but he was a ref when I was in the NBA because I was for 4 years as a ball boy. But there was a guy who was do you remember the ref? I'm trying to remember the guy's name. He was a referee, and he was caught as
it was a gambling thing.
He was fixing games, and he was arrested for it. Look that up. NBA ref arrested for fixing games. And with a referee, you would look back on some of his games, you'd be like, why is he making that call? Why is he influencing the outcome of the game?
Tim Donaghy was
Tim
the name.
something,
yep,
yeah.
2007.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, it was a crazy story. And I knew that guy because one of my jobs as a ball boy was I had to bring these guys towels before the game in their locker room and make sure they had everything they needed before they went out on the court.
The refs?
Yeah, the refs.
Yeah.
And you could so easily affect the outcome of game by just some tiny little thing, just some tiny little piece of information.
Right.
Again, you don't even have to throw the whole game. All you need to know is that LeBron James has a sore ankle. And
that's going to affect the spread.
It's nothing to say about LeBron James, but when he had a sore ankle for those 3 games, Milwaukee beat them every night. So if you know that information going into it and you can place the big bets, then that's as good as gold.
The kind of bet that'll let Perry eat. Nom, 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 nom.
Gotta feed
exclamation point.
Gotta feed DJ.
Right?
Gotta feed him. Yeah. It's crazy. This story is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. This is day 1 that this has been big public knowledge. So I'm wondering what this is going to look like by next week. Because the NBA just started this week. This is the worst thing.
It's opening week.
This is the worst thing that could possibly happen for the NBA. Worst thing.
I think's behind this. Hockey.
You think so?
I think big hockey's behind this. They've been sitting on this story till opening week. What do you think?
I think it's WNBA. I think WNBA said, you know what? Watch our games.
Yeah,
there's no way to tell if we're
clean,
throwing
baby.
it. Just joking.
No. Angel Reese misses those on purpose. She misses those shots on purpose.
I didn't even think about that. Oh, that's so funny. Person number 1 to look into.
Nobody can miss that many layups.
She has to miss 10 layups and she has to have 37 rebounds. I know how I can accomplish that. Oh, that's so funny, Spike.
I'm sorry.
You're hilarious.
All due respect, injuries. We're making
all due respect. Yeah, absolutely.
If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800.
All right, that's all the gambling stuff we can talk about for right now. Let's move on to some other stuff.
No, this is another gambling story. You gamble with your health?
Oh, the mafia,
another mafia
the food
story?
mafia.
Yes.
All right, so in where was this at? This was all around all the different stadiums,
Well, that's
right?
where it started about a week ago. We got the story about, they were cracking down on the unlicensed food vendors.
Yeah, and they
that were
took out
around
like 11 in one day.
Right. And most times you find them outside the stadiums as you're walking in, little carts with a hot dog stand or whatever it might be. I see them all the time as I drive up and down the corridor on Aurora Avenue. I'm not slowing down for you people taking license numbers. I don't get a letter in the mail.
Yeah.
Another story we talked about this week. But you see these food vendors that are on the side. I mean, and these guys have set up shop.
This is hookers who are also selling hot dogs?
Right. Hookers and hot dogs. There's a business model.
That's a good business. Like bikini baristas.
You see these. You see these.
Worse.
You see these temporary tents that you put up like in a backyard for a party, right?
Yeah.
Underneath though is a full-on kitchen.
Yeah.
With a rotisserie, like a carved heroes,
like shaven lamb and stuff.
Yes, exactly. And they got a line going down the block.
The problem is they're not legal.
They're not licensed. They're not legal. They're not healthy.
They talked to this guy. He runs a food truck. His name is I assume this is a guy, right? Misa Avila? Do I have this right?
Tony Two Slice. No,
Misa Avila. He has a food truck, and he was talking to Como, and he goes, "Hey, it's quite obvious that these people are operating without a license."
It's pretty easy to tell who has a business license and who doesn't, or a health permit, because health permit requires you to have a hand washing sink and have a cold storage for your meats. If your meats are sitting out there, because they usually set up around 5-ish, from 5 to 2 a.m. without any refrigeration, that can't be a permit.
He says the way they do business, you wouldn't serve it to your worst enemy. I'd love to get this guy. Can we get this guy on the show, Laura? He'd be really interesting to talk to.
He's a legitimate licensed food truck vendor.
He has an actual food truck, and it's licensed, and he's doing the right thing. And he says, in this Como story here, which is really interesting, he says he first noticed a few new stands in the community. The food truck community is like a big thing.
Sure.
A couple years ago. He owns a couple of food trucks. He says he wanted to support the new businesses and give the food a try. But that's when he got over there and he noticed, as a professional, these people are not professional.
And it's not cheap.
safe.
Well, it's not cheap to run a business when you're running a valid, legitimate licensed food truck with all the requirements therein for sanitation and
some of the
safety.
regulations are there for a reason. You obviously want to have hand washing and safe food storage and things like that.
So when you got and it's a limited marketplace to sell food to people, and if you got people coming in without licenses, without safety protocols, without health standard protocols, they're cutting into Tony's ability to do business.
Horrible.
It's his livelihood.
Yeah. Officials in King County are stepping up enforcement, shutting down more than 150 unpermitted establishments just this year. So if you have eaten at a food truck or it's probably not a truck. It's more likely one of these little stands.
Carts, little stands that pop up, and I see them all the time.
I knew it was fake. My son and I went to a Mariners game like a month and a half ago or whenever it was. And we walk right by one, and I see this guy. He's like flinging up hot dogs. He's pulling hot dogs out of a backpack, shoving them on the grill. And I'm thinking to myself, there's just no way.
Where's that backpack plugged in, you ask?
There's just no way that this is a safe way to store food.
No.
And so I said, I'm not paying that price, but I'll do it for half. And he gave it to me. No, just kidding. I didn't need it.
You beat him up.
No, I didn't need it. I went to the hookers and hot dog stand down the road.
They're licensed.
No, I didn't.
They're members of a union.
I would never go to that one. Wouldn't do it. All right. Speaking of, well, there's really no connection to this one.
Let's not.
I don't know how to connect hookers and hot dogs to superintendent search.
Well,
but now I have. So Seattle Public Schools are about to name a new superintendent, and I have a problem with. My kids are not in Seattle Public Schools, so I should say that right off the bat. But I am a parent of kids who are in public school, and I will say, I am a person who believes that parents should have a lot of communication with what's happening at the school, which is why that initiative that's out there about parents being able to know things, I'm fully in support of that. But as it stands with selecting the people who are running the schools, like in this case, Seattle Public Schools had 41 applicants for their new superintendent position. Not new, but their superintendent position.
Looking for superintendent. Nationwide search, 41 applicants, right.
41 applicants, and they've closed the process to parents. These are all behind the scenes, closed doors meetings that are happening. They've now whittled it down to 2 candidates.
Okay.
I understand you don't want too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah,
you don't need everybody in there with a loud opinion. But the reasoning that they're giving for not letting people be in on this, they say everything has been an executive session. Parents are being left in the dark. This was also a Como story, I believe. Como News talked to one of the parents, Jackie Kent. She said, they said, "Are you concerned about a lack of transparency there?" This was Como News' Jackie Kent. She actually works for Como. And they talked to one of the parents, and the parents said it definitely has been a different process than what we've seen in the past with superintendent hires. Of course, we would be excited to have some opportunity to meet the candidates and weigh in, and that's for very specific reasons, as the board has stated, to protect the employment of those folks. So the board is making the argument that the reason that these are closed-door sessions is because to reveal who the candidate is might be dangerous for these people's current place where they are employed.
Okay.
I don't buy that.
Really?
I don't.
That's that.
Can I explain why?
Yeah. Tell me.
Because the board is able to meet with these people, and somehow that information is not trickling out. Would you not trust a small group of parents also to like come in and say, hey, you know what, guys? Sign an NDA. We want to make sure that you're not going to say anything, but we also want to give you the opportunity to be involved in this process, because this person's going to be in charge of not only the education that your kids are getting, they're also going to be in charge of a lot of money. Seattle School District gets $1.37 billion to spend on education.
And this is the superintendent we're talking about, the big kahuna.
This is the number one top dog.
Interesting. This
is going to be a very highly paid position to completely ice parents out of this process.
I got a couple thoughts about parents being involved in the process.
Sure.
First off, I'm hoping that people who are vetting these finalists for this position, and eventually they'll get down to the final two.
Have kids in the school system?
Well, no, but they know what makes a good educator. They know what to look for in a quality candidate, not just someone charming or attractive. If you bring in parents into the process, I understand the value of parents having input on what's important to them, but I think leaving it to the professionals to decide who the candidate is. I can see the value in that. And as far as trusting parents with secret information, you trust a gaggle of Karens? You can trust Karens to keep their mouths shut?
The professionals who run the school district now have put the school in the position where they're now, $90 million in debt?
That's a good point, too.
Right?
Yeah, maybe,
They're also
maybe a few moms wouldn't be such a bad idea.
It is also the school board who decided not to bring back resource officers on campus, right?
Yeah, despite public opinion.
Even though parents asked for it, administrators at Garfield High School asked for it.
That's fair.
So these are the same people who are now saying that parents don't get to be involved in this process.
Okay.
I don't trust these people as far as I can throw them.
Nah, you won me over.
So you should let parents be involved.
At least when you get down to the finalists, when you take off the board that these people are applying in secret.
Not the 41. You don't listen. There's going to be a couple of dum-dums in there. Get rid of them. You don't need them.
But who didn't tell their school district in Omaha that they were looking for a better gig?
Exactly. But you get down to the final two, which is where they're at right now. Give the parents a chance to have a say in that. It's very important. These are the people who are most invested in making sure the community works, much more so than the Seattle School Board. I guarantee it, because their kids are there.
They got skin in the game.
They got way more skin in the game.
Right.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Chris Sullivan's going to join us next. We'll tell you about some snow this weekend. Very exciting. Stick around.
A KIRO Newsradio exclusive.
This is Charlie Harder. I've spent the past 6 weeks investigating a story involving a youth pastor, child abuse, a mayor, and a name change, all while civic leaders appear to look the other way.
I've read the police report. It is horrible. It is sickening.
There's some level of calculation there.
You have to make it right.
How does no one have a problem with it?
Watch the full story at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
Hey, quick heads up. If your building's over 20,000 square feet, Washington's Clean Buildings Law means you may need to meet new energy standards starting July of 2026. Luckily, Puget Sound Energy has this free program called the Clean Buildings Accelerator that makes it way easier to comply with the Clean Buildings Performance Standard. They walk you through the steps, help track your energy use, even give you plan templates. I signed up. It's simple, and it's saving me money already. Check it out at psc.com/clean buildings.
Ooh, mate, remember those yodelers who met in the Alps? I wired them euros from the bank, and they sent me their yodels in a can.
You wired money for canned yodels? That is so dumb. Banks are slow, and they hide fees and overseas transfers and exchange rates.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
If you're gonna send money to Europe, just use Wise. Wise is super fast and never hides fees.
Smart.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
This October, the Harnish Auto family is partnering up with Mobile Mammo Northwest in the fight against breast cancer. Mobile Mammo Northwest provides accessible mammograms to women across the Puget Sound, bringing early detection and care to those who need it most. For every test drive taken at a Harnish Auto family dealership, we will donate on your behalf. Join us in supporting Mobile Mammo Northwest at the Harnish Auto family, where people matter.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at homecomfortalliance.com.
IRG Physical and Hand Therapy doesn't just treat injuries, they elevate athletes. From weekend warriors to elite competitors, IRG Sports Institute clinics are built for performance, blending top-tier physical therapy with advanced sports science and personalized training plans. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Why? Why elevate athletes as well?
Because here at IRG, Brock, our motto is we want you to be your best self, your best physical self, your best mental self, and your best community self. At our new IRG Fremont Sports Institute, we're providing that type of care. We've got the latest equipment, the greatest techniques, the providers there that are excited to get you better, basically bigger, faster, stronger. Doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior, a recreational athlete, an elite athlete, we will make you to be your best.
You'll work with specialists who understand the grind because they've been there. With access to cutting-edge equipment and recovery techniques, you won't just heal, you'll come back stronger. Visit irgpt.com, irgpt.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
You can count on trusted local news and information from the Seattle Times, one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country, right here in the Pacific Northwest. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletimes.com/subscribe.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Open health insurance enrollment begins in 1 week nationwide under the Affordable Care Act, and premiums, they are way up. Nanette and her husband say they expect to pay an extra $400 a month.
This is not political. This is about a moral issue. This is about taking care of American citizens.
Democrats are pushing to extend those tax credits that lower the cost. It is their main concern amid the government shutdown now on day 23. Republicans say they want the government reopened before they start negotiating on those subsidies. Two criminal cases are rocking the basketball world just as the NBA season tipped off this week. CBS's Peter King reports more than 30 people have been arrested.
The NBA says a current player and coach have been placed on immediate leave after their gambling arrests. New York Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch says the Miami Heat's Terry Rozier shared information about plans to leave a game early with a supposed injury when he played for Charlotte in 2023.
Using that information, members of the group placed more than $200,000 in wagers on his under statistics.
The other probe, Portland coach Chauncey Billups, is accused of participating in mafia-run poker games that attracted star-struck bettors, then fleeced them. Peter King, CBS News.
Governor Bob Ferguson has signed an emergency proclamation on that I-90 overpass that was struck by an oversized load near Cle Elum on Wednesday. Ferguson says it allows the state to seek federal funds to fix the bridge and to start emergency repairs as quickly as possible. We should learn no later than Monday when the westbound I-90 lanes will reopen near the Bullfrog overpass. Well, some big-name corporations here in Western Washington, they are on the list of donors helping to pay for President Trump's new ballroom at the White House. CBS's Linda Kenyon has that story.
President Trump has said no public funds are being used for construction of the ballroom, that he's paying for it himself along with donors. Those donors include Comcast Corporation, Microsoft, Lockheed Martin, T-Mobile, Union Pacific Railroad, and Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss. The White House released the list of donors, even as the cost of the project has grown from an estimated $200 million to a new figure of $300 million. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 2:33. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron, Washington 811 has the update. The Valley Freeway is getting busy already this afternoon. Let's start in the south end, northbound 167 at Jovita. We just cleared a collision about 2 minutes ago. It's left you with about a mile backup. It's southbound 167. We're seeing scattered backups building between Algona and Sumner due to road work. In the north end, southbound 167 heading into Kent just past 84th. Some sort of blocking issue has traffic at a standstill. It's outside of my camera view, so I can't see what it is, but you're backed up to 180th. Renton to Auburn right now has about a 15-minute delay. Southbound 405 is thick from Mid-Bellevue through Factoria. From there, you're going to start to thin out, but it's still crowded all the way into Renton. Got another backup in South Center, all added up. Bellevue to South Center will take you about a half hour. Both directions of I-5 are now heavy heading through downtown Seattle. Linwood to Seattle right around 20 minutes. If you're digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 to avoid dangerous and costly damages to utility lines. Call 811 or submit online at digsafewa.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly cloudy skies for today. Rain moves in along the coast tonight, and then heavy rain for most of us tomorrow. Right now, 61 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Chris Sullivan, traffic guru, master of all choke points, joins us now. Chris, welcome to the show.
It's good to be here.
It's great to have you here.
Yeah, it's fun.
Chris, people are very excited around this time of year because the weather starts to change. Have you guys noticed the leaves? I was driving in this morning. I felt like overnight everything went from kind of a bland yellow, and now we have this beautiful orange foliage. Is it foliage or
Foliage.
Is it the coffee?
Yeah.
Foliage? Or just not, it's not foliage, as Marge Simpson would say.
Beautiful
It's
foliage.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it makes my time being stuck in traffic slightly more enjoyable. But people are going to be stuck in maybe some traffic over the passes this weekend.
We're getting our first dose of snow in the passes.
Hot dog.
At least that's what the forecast is. I mean, you never know. Again, in this town, you could be about 30% right most of the time, and you're doing okay.
You're in the
that's
Hall
a Hall of Fame career.
The Weather Hall of Fame,
right
30%.
there. So that's the expectation is by Sunday we could see some snow down at, say, Microsoft. at Snoqualmie Pass level. Not sure what I was thinking.
Did they buy that already?
It's right. It's going to be a microclimate right over Redmond, right there around 148th. No, it's a Snoqualmie Pass. And so it's time to start kind of thinking about that time of year. Obviously, we're going to have the time change coming up here in a couple of weeks. It's going to be getting dark. We're going to have the leaves. We're going to be a really rainy and windy weekend here too. So, but yeah, we're getting ready for the passes.
It's funny. I heard an atmospheric river maybe forecasted for this region.
Yeah,
this
for
weekend.
next week. Yeah.
So as you said, wind and rain. Jake, all your leaves, enjoy them this week because next week they're gone.
Are they just going to
They're
be
going to
gone?
be just dropped off the trees within one big storm, and the mountain's going to get dumped with snow.
Do you guys have any traditions that you do this time of year as the weather starts to change?
Yes. First thing I do is I don't clean up any of my leaves.
Perfect.
Never.
And how long do you hold that out for?
Well, it's been, how many years have we been in our house? If I go into the backyard, I step up about 4 feet because that's how many
Your yard
years.
is 4 feet taller.
It's just like you just fluff
You're
and I just
making
step
compost,
into it.
buddy.
No, what I do, though, in the
that's
front
great.
yard, we do have a couple of small deciduous trees, and I never clear the leaves because I use the leaves for Halloween. I use the leaves to rake over like the wires and things that I have for my Halloween decorations, so it makes the yard look a little bit more disheveled and scary. I've got a really cool thing called Marcus the Carcass. I've had him for 25 years. It's like a head, 2 hands, and 2 feet that look like they're coming out of the ground, and it lights up.
You have it out of the leaves?
Yeah, and so I have to, because it's only just a head, 2 hands, and 2 feet, and there's
a lot
like
of
no
wire.
body.
Marcus
And so I cover the whole body in wire so it looks like a fresh grave.
Oh my gosh.
And so
that's
yeah,
great.
I use my leaves for that. So yeah, I'll have a big job for me coming up after Halloween. But that's my thing.
You do anything like that, Spike?
As far as we love the fall. My wife's a very Halloween fall type person. We love this time of year, the change of season, the gray, the cool, the wind, the rain. I love it all. But my favorite tradition for fall and Halloween and the snow season is I badger Laura about the safety of her vehicle, tire
True.
pressure.
Yeah.
Again, we're going to practice putting Laura's chains on her car on a dry, warm roadway.
Good for you.
Because you got to know, you don't need to learn how to put chains on the side of the road in the dark, in the slush.
That's
Am I
true.
right?
Yeah.
Because we care about you.
You don't want to learn on the job.
I appreciate it. I drive over the passes all the time in the winter because I love to ski. And this comes up every year.
Yeah.
Spike gives me a
Fantastic.
checklist.
I remember sending you a list that made me sound like I was your father last year after you had that conversation with
You
Spike
bet
on
you
the
has.
air. And
You were
it'll probably happen
texting me
again.
during it,
Yeah, I was.
actually.
I was like, I can't believe you don't do this.
I joke, but I've got 2 kids, and I got to go through the same thing with them.
Yeah.
It's because I care.
It's because you care.
And I don't want to get Laura, blocking
You're
500 cars
you're
on
like
the pass.
her second dad. You're like an uncle. I'm like a big brother. We're just going to, and yet, I don't know if she even knows how to put a chain on
I do
yet.
not know how to put chains
All
on.
right. Well, none of us are doing a great job.
Well, that's what you should do this
That's what
weekend
Spike's gonna do.
in
Yeah.
preparation.
Yeah.
I agree. That's something you got to practice. Or think of something. They've got different types of things now. You don't have to use chains. You can use the snow socks or things like that.
I was just going to say, have you guys
there are
ever
options out there?
What?
Yeah.
Have
No.
you seen
What
the
is-
snow socks?
No.
It's pretty great. Chris, tell them.
They're basically just what it sounds like, a fiber that goes over you just put them on your tire like a sock. You got to take them off as soon as you're off the snow, or else they'll just be ripped to shreds.
Well,
destroyed.
even more so than you don't want to drive with chains on the road, but it's because it will damage the road. The snow socks will just completely tear
Disintegrate,
apart.
rip apart. But
Okay.
they're really, if you get caught in something really quickly,
Fast and easy?
yeah, you just put them on all 4 tires and it'll get you through the snow. But you're right. Once you're out, you got to rip them or they're gone. They're like use.
You would never think that they would work.
No.
My sister and her husband had a pair of these because my sister had a van for years and she didn't want to put on chains. And so they found these, and I think they were originally probably they seem very Scandinavian. I don't know why, but they seem like they come from
All
somewhere.
good, simple, clean things are.
Yeah,
Let's face it.
But and they're so easy to apply. You just basically, it is like a sock. You just put it along the outside. It's very easy to do. It doesn't require all of the tightening that happens with chains.
Back up a car
because they're
over-
held on by basically like an internal, like a bungee type of a thing.
Okay.
And then it just grips onto your tire, but the fiber of it grips onto snow, and I can't explain
I don't
why.
understand it either. It's like putting on a shower cap.
Okay.
But
for your
basically
tire.
that same kind of thing, but
That's
over
what
your
it looks
tire.
like.
Pretty much what it looks like.
How big is it when it's like you store it in your car, right?
Yeah,
loaf of bread?
Fit all of them inside this coffee cup.
Laura,
It's
how
unbelievable.
big's your Christmas stocking, Laura?
It would easily fit.
There we go.
Yeah.
I still want the Costco executive membership.
Okay. Oh, well.
I'm not.
We know. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise.
Wow, I want to get into Costco at 9. I can't possibly wait till 10:01.
Have you been at 9?
Oh yeah, we're exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
But Laura, no, forget
When
it,
am I
Laura.
ever in there at 9? I mean, I'm working for a living, but no, we have that.
It's great.
Yeah.
Have you done? It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Holly uses it on Saturdays.
Fast pass, baby.
You walk in like a king.
Yep.
You walk around. There's
Do they
none
give
of
you
the-
like a little smile and a nod when you flash it too?
They
Like a
do.
little wink?
It's
Right this
different.
way, sir.
No, we can't tell you. That's part of the deal. Once you get in, all that. That's kind of the
Someday
secret
I'll
stuff
know.
we can't
Yeah.
tell you about, right?
The
It's like
handshakes, the cloaks, yeah.
I feel like they do something with the lighting too. It's just like a little softer. It's like it's not that harsh
It is.
warehouse
It's
lighting.
a softer, more soft tone lighting.
Everything's 47% off. It's great.
It's amazing.
I just totally made that up.
That's fake. That's fake. Don't hold us to that. Don't sue us. That's not true.
Not true at all.
Okay, well, people should be careful in the passes.
Yeah, and other things to do, too, in addition to putting on your chains or practicing that, obviously, just check your car.
Yes.
Windshield wipers, fluids,
winterize,
lights, all that tire depth. Make sure your treads are okay on that. Pack a little bag in the car.
Do you know the tire depth trick, Laura?
With the penny?
With the penny?
Is it, does the head shouldn't show?
Well, you should be a little bit
Lincoln's head.
below the yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should cover
Well, it
more
was
of his
because of
face.
this team that I got new tires last year. And also, I just got de-icer windshield wiper fluid
That's the
over
best.
the weekend. And
Yeah.
it refilled up, and it was great because I went through the passes, and I wasn't sure last weekend.
It's working, guys.
De-icer.
It's working.
Oh my gosh! Look at her. She's growing up. That's
You're
so
grown up and you're
condescending.
grown up and
so
you're grown up.
condescending.
Right before our ears.
It's not condescending. She needs help.
A little
What
bag,
else?
a little bag with a couple bottles of water, a couple of power bars,
Tiny little whiskey.
well, maybe for your passengers, a blanket, hat, flashlight. Check the flashlight. Make sure it's got new batteries.
Prepare
in it,
for the worst.
and those kinds of things. Just be ready.
All of that, obviously. But do you guys think it would be wise if you are packing a tiny little emergency case? Because in that case, you're not going anywhere. You're stuck, right, in the snow. The old dogs, like the old rescue dogs.
Oh, the St. Bernards?
St. Bernards,
Barrel
at least
of
in the
brandy?
cartoon,
Yeah,
they'd have
yeah.
the barrel of brandy
Yeah,
with them.
yeah.
I think there's a wisdom to that, and it's not the worst idea. Not for the driver, I'm not saying that, but if you're stuck outside in the snow, you're going to feel miserable, and if you're drinking a little bit, you might feel better about your situation.
I find that it saves marriages.
Well,
you give it to the missus.
as long as there's a place to
She doesn't care how long
the
she sits
relieving
there.
of said beverage. Because if you're stuck, you're stuck.
Right.
But be prepared.
I'm assuming that means that your vehicle is stuck on the side of the road. You can still get in and out of the vehicle to make bathroom.
Yeah, but still, again, I'm not sure very many people are comfortable with the natural things that might happen should you carry that much liquid with you. But I'm just preparing everyone.
You could, It's
talking about a fifth of Maker's
This is
Mark.
why
I'm talking about a miniature.
Yeah, it's a tiny 2-3.
You travel differently than I do, Spike.
All right. Be safe out there. Enjoy the snow. It's the best time of the year.
Check the fall colors before they're gone.
Yeah,
the colors.
they'll be gone in a week.
Enjoy them. Laura, get your
be fun, be
chains.
careful, be safe. And just take your time. Speed is a killer. Right?
Yes.
As the State Patrol told me, and I love this quote, Trooper Rick Johnson, goes, the ice and snow doesn't give a damn if you've got 42-wheel drive. It's not going to help you stop any faster.
Right. Yeah.
Now, that's not a direct
Slow
quote.
down.
I added a few things. Rick
There
would
you
never
go.
say that. But
Yeah.
it's great to get going, but the stopping doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Don't be that overconfident driver who ends up in the ditch when you're going 70 past everybody else going 45.
There you go. That's Chris Sullivan. We got your text messages coming up next. Stick around. We will be right back.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Amanda Factor, and it's almost Friday.
We'll have the day's top stories. Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
Broadway's longest-running American musical has landed in Seattle.
It's Chicago at the 5th Avenue.
We'll hear from the actors who play Roxy Hart and her rival Velma Kelly.
Paul Holden has your weekend planner.
Join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
you're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE. Go to k2visionrle.com and schedule a free Zoom consultation today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Permanently.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition too. For them, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
We are Harnish Auto Family, and this month we've partnered with Mobile Memo Northwest. For every test drive you take, we'll make a donation on your behalf. Come on over this month and stand with us in the fight against breast cancer. Harnish Auto Family, where people matter.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
Hi, welcome back to the show. I'll tell you what, Spike, I'm going to spend a great deal of time doing tonight.
What?
Just
betting on the NBA?
No. I tell you what, the internet, I don't know if they've algorithmed me or whatever it is, but it is just exploding with all these really bad-looking videos from the last few years of things that happened in the NBA on the floor. Literally players looking off to the side to see people sitting courtside, making weird gestures, tapping their hats. Everything that happens now in the NBA, I'm going to question.
Look through the filter of, was this done to
fix the game? Because this giant thing that's happening right now with the FBI and the NBA, it's wild to watch. And if it's happening in the NBA, don't think it can't happen in every sport. That's the scary part.
Ouch.
That's the scary part. All right, we got a lot of text messages. Let's jump into them. Laura, go for it.
On the Edmonds levy for schools and parks, Katie in Edmonds says, I will be voting no on Prop 1. They have enough money. They need to manage it better. And yes, I am for parks and schools, but we have a money management issue.
100% Katie. She gets it.
Wow. Bob in Edmonds says, the reason you are seeing so many yes signs is the huge amounts of money have gone into them from public unions, developers, etc. The no signs are a grassroots effort.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Spike. People generally don't want to be looked at as cheap.
Yeah, I'm voting no on parks.
And I hate parks.
Yeah.
But privately,
when they pull that curtain behind them, which not anymore, it used to be you stepped into a booth and pulled a curtain behind you and it was private. Now you just
I would
fill out
like
an
to.
envelope.
I would like to see that just for like a year, just to see what it feels like.
It felt great.
I would like to go into a voting booth and to pull the thing.
Pull the lever. Yep.
I would like that.
It's a cool feeling.
Yeah. On teens and marijuana use, Craig in Puyallup says, you're exactly right, Spike. This is not the weed of our utes. Kids can get away with too much. Kids get way too much THC very, very easily, and it's dirt cheap. I have bought weed legally that would have cost $200 an ounce in the 1980s. You can get that for $20 now.
Yep, just pull in that little booth, pull the curtain behind you.
Smoke a little, whatever.
And on the convicted child rapist in Auburn, defended by the mayor, this was Charlie Harger's investigative piece today. Warren in Tacoma says the King County Sheriff's Office should be able to send a request for prosecution because he didn't follow the law and notify him when he changed his alias.
Oh, interesting.
That's right.
It was years, right?
Yeah. On AI, Suzanne Summers, Heidi says she should have all the wisdom but still look 50s-ish.
Sure. Yeah. Or younger.
That's something. Well.
Gary says, Spike and I are kind of old. Remember the Disney animatrons?
Yes.
Is that like the Hall of Presidents?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. This is an AI-infused puppet. Live or dead, the public will be able to purchase robots to emulate the characters of their choice, then modify and train that AI. This can go so wrong. Yeah, this could get kind of dark.
Yeah.
It's going to get really
from
weird.
Salties, this is less dark. He says, okay, you only have one part of the story. Alan Hamill's not alone. He's been in a relationship with Joanne Cassidy, Suzanne's friend, for a couple of years.
Oh.
So it's not based on loneliness. It's based on he wants to give
He's
her AI.
He's marketing her from the grave.
Yeah, he wants to let her fans still have access to her.
I think that's even creepier.
And buy a Thigh Master while they're at it.
Wow.
Let's see. On calling your mom, this was very sweet. You were talking about that, Spike.
Yeah.
Dennis in the 206 says, thanks for the reminder, Spike. Calling my mom now. Oh, that's nice.
And 425 says, call your mother once a week. It's the least you can do.
Yeah, you're right.
True. All right, Spike, do one of these
on
truck
speeding
ones.
company trucks, Sully says, Spike, you're so wrong. Support companies that speed. Fast service rules. Just kidding.
Oh, that's funny.
Thanks a lot.
All right, here's a longer one, but a good one. Rich and Burien says, as a professional driver for 37 years, I always call the company. I had a Metro bus hit my mirror once when we were driving across the Aurora Bridge. Then he pulled up alongside me and flipped me off. Little did he know that I had trained as a Metro driver, and his boss's phone number was on speed dial. That's karma. It's karma instantly.
Can I do one more long one? Do we have time?
We don't have time, actually.
Sorry, Ann in the 360. I loved your story. On the Food Truck Mafia, Ben from Mercer Island says, you had me at hot dogs and hookers.
There you go. Perfect way to end the show.
By the way, we've copywritten that, so don't even try it, people.
Yep, that's us. We own it. Great show ahead at the John Curley Show. Make sure you tune in for that. And we will be back here tomorrow for a super-sized edition of a Friday show. It's going to be a ton of fun. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
The voice of the Mariners for 40 years.
There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
The Rick Riz Show on Seattle's Morning News.
Rick. We have finally reached the end of the baseball season.
Oh, Amanda.
Have you recovered yet?
Oh, what a year. You know, it was the best year on the field in the history of the franchise. One that I'll never forget, and I don't think the fans will ever forget either.
Get the full conversation on the KIRO Newsradio app and at mynorthwest.com.
Apollo Plumbing.
I got a bone to pick with you.
Say what?
You're donating service fees.
To Seattle Children's.
All month.
All the way to $20,000.
Right. That's my problem.
Huh?
Your plumbers cleared my drain last month.
Right.
And already replaced my water heater last summer.
And?
Now I have no reason to call Apollo Plumbing.
And yet you are.
I want to help you help Seattle Children's.
But
I don't need a plumber right now.
Oh, so we can't donate your service fee.
Right.
Got a fix for that.
How?
Visit our website.
Because
we have a donation link there.
Helping Seattle Children's?
Helping them provide patient care, support research, and ensure no child in need is ever turned away.
Love that.
Even if you do call Apollo for help, and we donate your services fee.
Could I donate even more?
Exactly. Benefiting Seattle Children's Hospital.
All this month.
All their service fees.
All the way to $20,000.
Maybe even more with your help.
That's so Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, October 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendonitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee.
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1.